Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Back together after a day off yesterday. Hope you all had a pleasant Memorial Day and remembered the reason for Memorial Day. Paul, looking at you.
Well, I didn't go on vacation this weekend.
I did. It's what the troops, the fallen troops, would have wanted. Welcome back. Good to see you guys. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of Ben and Woods. Paulie, how are you, buddy?
Hey, how are you?
Doing great. Ben Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor, news anchor last night. Saw a little bit of your broadcast. How'd that go?
Yeah, went smoothly last night. A lot of Memorial Day ceremonies and reflections that we covered. So that was a large part of the evening yesterday. Everyone's wondering if you were going to play a chip. I didn't hear any chip today.
No, there's no chip today, dude.
There could have been a chip. I do think you have to be.
I'm trying.
This
I just
you
used
have to
two.
start. I know you have to start concern. You only have 10.
I've got 8 left.
You can't run out of them by the All-Star break,
bro.
There could be real problems in the second half.
I mean, there's certain players I'd like to take a chip and throw at them right now. Manny Machado being one of them. Tough when your guy is off to the worst start ever. Now we are fully at the blame the media. We are fully there. Just so you guys know, today is what? June what? 2nd? What is it?
May 26th.
It's not even June, buddy.
Tell I had a rough weekend. What is it?
May 26th.
Okay. I thought it was June 2nd. May 26th, and we are at it is my fault, it is your fault, and it is your fault that Manny Machado is not hitting. So don't really know where to go for it. Like it's the media needs to be harder on Manny. Manny, you suck. Figure it out. You make too much money.
No. You got to go down and do it to his face.
Oh, yeah, I'm not doing that. No, come on.
I do think it's funny, and I had someone in my tweets yesterday who said no one in this town will say the honest truth.
Right.
And I said, okay, fine. Manny Machado is struggling and is not playing well right now. And now I'm the first person to say it.
God, you're so brave.
And otherwise, no one in town would have had any idea. This is breaking news on 97.3 The Fan.
My favorite bit is
Manny Machado is struggling. You heard it here first. Breaking news again. Manny Machado is struggling at the plate. You won't hear this anywhere else. In fact,
my favorite is that bit. No one's talking about this right now. Why isn't anybody?
Everybody in San Diego is talking about this.
This is my favorite. And a lot of podcasters do it. A lot of podcasters do this. Nobody's talking about this right now but us. Nobody. Did you guys know Fernando Tatis Jr. has not hit a home run and Manny Machado is batting 176 or whatever? Holy
Why
cow.
is nobody talking about this?
Joshua says if this was New York or Boston, they'd get chewed out. Yeah, man. I mean, look at the Red Sox, how good they're doing. They get chewed out all the time. Look how good they are.
But you also
look at the Mets. Oh, my God. They're gangbusters.
I'm really glad you brought that up. I think this is really important. And if I can just speak about this for a minute, because I've really been thinking about this quite a lot. And here's the thing, right? When it all comes down to it and we like really begin to understand, like, this is what I think.
Podcast, by the way.
But this is why we have you on. It's my opinion. Yeah. So my friend works at the New York Times, right?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And so this is what I think. There's a lot of conversation and there's a lot of dialogue around the subject without really dissecting and understanding the subject.
It's the best imitation of a podcast of all time. But listen, I see your frustration. I understand your frustration, but we'll get there. But
people then want us to say bad things about Manny Machado. I also got the tweets like, he's your guy. You guys are just going to continue to be nice and say nice things about him. Remember, big picture this. Manny Machado is a future Hall of Fame baseball player, one of the best who's ever done it in his life. He's been nothing but a positive in San Diego, good family guy, never gets in any trouble at all. Do you really think that we should sit here and just relentlessly hammer him for offensive struggles? Isn't life bigger than that? Of course he wants to figure it out. Of course he would like to hit more. Us saying something on the radio is not going to make him want it more, and him wanting it more is probably not going to make him hit more at all. Those things don't follow logically.
Yeah, I don't care at this point. Like, he does have to hit. At some point, he can't be hitting 176 or whatever, 170. What they say, he's the worst qualified hitter in the NFL.
Nationally.
That's so tough and completely unexpected.
I think the problem is it feels stupid to single out anybody right now.
Yeah, maybe don't bat these.
Last week it was Tatis. This week's apparently going to be Manny. Next week will be Xander's turn, and then we'll get to Merrill after that. But why can't we just talk about the offense as a whole?
I think you really can't put those guys together. Manny and Merrill together is like black hole right now.
They're both terrible right now.
Unfortunately, there's no one to put around. And Duhar is now in a slump and struggling.
In a slump.
Laureano's never really gotten out of it after his hot start. He's been slumping.
Let me ask you guys this.
Castellanos is now slumping. I mean, you're just putting different slumping players together in a lineup that is full of slumping players.
Joshua says, Matt Kemp said it best. Matt Kemp, by the way. When he was in San Diego and he wasn't doing good, they never bothered him. When he was in L.A., they would let him have it. Who did? The fans? The media?
The media, I guess.
They traded him. They got rid of Matt Kemp, right? Like they got rid of him. I don't know that you're going to be able to find somebody to take some of these contracts off the Padres' hands.
I promise you the players all feel the pressure from the fans in the city right now. They're not going, no one cares. Yeah, they're fine with what we are doing right now.
I don't know. I think
the place is filled up every night. They hear it. They understand the fans are not happy right now with how the offense is performing.
Well, listen, I think we're a convenient target. Anybody else is a convenient target. The target should be on Manny Machado to be better, and he knows he's got to play better. We all want him to play better. At this point, would you want to should we call him names and stuff? Because I don't know. That's not really who I am or who we are as a person.
Again, remember. Future Hall of Famer, one of the best.
He's got to hit. He's got to start hitting.
Who has ever played the game? We are a bunch of schlubs on the radio.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be somewhat, I don't know, inappropriate for us to just? What do you want us to say? Manny's a turd. Manny,
save that, Paul.
It does. I mean, I just don't feel that. I don't believe that in my heart. I don't know that he's gonna have a great season. I don't know if he's gonna figure it out here.
Dino says we coddle the stars. I mean, dude, they're such good players, bro. They're such good players that aren't playing well. That's what I look at. Is I go, man, these are my guys. I'm a fan of the team, right? I'm a fan of the guys that are on. I love all these guys. I do. I'm a media member admitting it. I do. I love them. I love rooting for them. My kids love them. My wife loves them. We're fans of this team. All these guys, and they stink though. I mean, the offense stinks right now. There's no question about it. I think we've been. I think we're able to say that every day, but I don't want to start. We've been off for 3 days.
All I want is for my players to care as much as the fans do. And I do believe that
I believe they do.
That the Padres players care quite a bit and want to get better and are working hard to get better. It's just not working right now.
And I got a guy tweeting me this weekend. He goes, "Hey, is it time to start booing?" I said, "Dude, do whatever you want. Boo away. If you think it will help. Have a ball."
I mean, you might want to wait until they actually lose the series. They won their last series.
Yeah, they did win the series against the A's.
They won their series against the A's, and there's still 2 games left against the Phillies. And we've seen this play out time and time again all season. We start to feel the angst and panic, and then they win a couple of games again, and
you feel good.
And they haven't fixed everything, but they've yet to truly go into free fall.
Into the crapper. Yeah.
I think it's just we all see it coming. We all they're either going to turn it around offensively and figure it out, or they're going to fall off a cliff and will really be where a lot of people think we're at right now. We're not there yet, but I don't see how this keeps up for another 3 months.
I agree
October.
Dino said, "Should media be fans?" I mean, I don't know. It's
I don't really care.
Personal preference, man. I don't sit in the press box. Dino, hold on.
What would a non-fan media member be saying?
Dino,
now?
I don't sit in the press box because I like to root for the team. In the press box, you're not allowed to cheer and clap. I don't consider myself media. I'm just a dude on the radio that talks about this team.
We're not journalists.
I'm not a journalist.
We're entertainers.
Correct. That's it. That's what it boils down to. So I hope that makes sense. I didn't want to devolve into this at 6:11. How was everyone's weekend? That's what I want to hear about.
I want to hear about your weekend.
My weekend, I came to the realization that I'm not 21 years old anymore. Even though I sure ripped like it on, Sunday night. I went out to Pappy and Harriet's to go see one of my favorite bands, the Afghan Wigs. And this was a weird one. right? So I walk into Pappy and Harriet's for lunch. I got there early and found a table, and I look at the little thing in the front. It said Afghan Wigs tonight. Great. That's why I'm here.
Perfect.
It said,
if it didn't, I would be worried.
It said doors open at 5. Show starts at 6:30. And I went, huh. Okay, so there's a band that opened for them called Mercury Rev, who I have now fallen in love with. So weird and ethereal, and it's kind of like the Flaming Lips, if you've ever heard the Flaming Lips. So I knew they were going to come on at 6:30.
Ben was just talking about the Flaming
I bet
Lips.
he was, and their entire catalog.
Yeah.
So it says Mercury Rev will be on at 6:30. So I text my buddy, who's the guitar player for the Afghan Wigs, and I don't want to bother this guy. He lives in Joshua Tree, so I'm sure he's busy as hell. And I said, hey, I saw it's an early show. Will you guys be on around 8? He goes, yep. And I go, 8? Now, Hannah and I had seen them on Saturday night at the Observatory in North Park. The Wigs didn't walk on stage till 9:30. So I go, what is going on? And then I thought to myself, oh, they're going to come on early because they're going to play for an extra hour. Ooh. It's the last night of the tour. They're going to blow it out. 6:30, Mercury Rev walks on. 8 o'clock, the Wigs walk on. 9:30, the Wigs walk off, never to be seen again.
That's it. 9:30.
That was it.
Wrap it up.
That was it.
It was a getaway day.
It was it was like the tour's over. But I thought 9:30. I've never had a concert end at 9:30 in my entire life.
Was there a curfew? The neighbors was too loud.
Bro,
for
you are literally
the 7 people.
You are literally
within 100 miles of you.
You're in the middle of the desert. Let me tell you, when I say it's lawless. You can smoke there. You can be standing in the front and be like, yeah, what's up? Like, it felt like it was 1994 again. It was crazy. And it was so fun. They played so well. And I actually ran into a couple tier 1s out there as well. It was a great night. But those that Maker's Mark really hit the spot. So it was a blast. I rarely
drink now.
I rarely imbibe. But you know my problem. My problem isn't that I don't like alcohol. My problem is once you get a little taste, it's much easier to get that second one. And that third one comes. Then that 12th one hits, and you're like, all right, good time to stumble back to my motel room.
How was Monday morning?
Rough.
Yeah.
Rough. And then I got in the car. And started the drive home. And I get through the back streets of, Pioneer Town, no problem. And then I hit the 10. And the 10 is bumper to bumper. And I'm sitting there shaking. And I'm just like, oh, my God. The time on my Waze goes from 2 hours and 12 minutes to 2:45. And then you're looking at about 3:15. I got home, took about 3 hours. It was really, really rough. But it was so fun to see my friend that plays for them and then to see the people really enjoying it. And so it was fun, man. A funny story, though. We were talking about dad jokes before the show. And you said you have a good one.
I saw one this weekend that just tickled me pink.
All right. So
is it the same banger that you used on the news the other night?
Oh, did he use one?
No. That was an original that I came up with last night. Yeah.
So I go to Pappy's and I'm going to have lunch when I get in. And I've never eaten there and I've always wanted to. And the food was really good. But I sit down at this table and it's just me. And then these 2 dudes walk in. And they're older guys, probably in their mid-60s. And they've got a young hostess there showing them their table. And, she's probably 21, 22, attractive. And boy, you see the 65-year-old look her up and down. He goes, hey, how much does it cost for a pirate to get his ears pierced? And she does not hear the pirate part. And she goes, oh, about, I would say, I think like if you do both, it's like $40.
So she thinks it's a serious
question.
Oh, yeah.
His buddy he goes, all right, come on, wrap it up, dude. Wrap it up. Like he's telling his buddy, hey, she doesn't care. She's not going to get it. And she goes, I don't understand. And he goes, no, how much does it take for a pirate to get? And so I'm now crawling out of my skin because it hasn't landed. Now you're having to explain it. Your buddy is C-blocking you now because he's like, come on, go, wrap it up.
I'm dying for this punchline.
Nothing's funnier than having to explain a joke, by the way.
You know what he says? He goes, a Buccaneer. She looks at him like he just told a joke in Japanese. She has no earthly idea what that means. A Buccaneer. And then he goes, you get it? Because of pie. And I bury.
You get it?
Paulie, I bury my hands in the menu at that point. I'm like, oh, God. I almost said, wrap it up, dude. Wrap it up. A Buccaneer.
You got to love the commitment.
And then he goes, you get it? Because a pirate, they also call pirates Buccaneers. Right. And she goes, Buccaneer. So a buck per ear. You get it now?
$1.
She's like, enjoy your meal, guys, and then leave.
See, that's exactly what I love about a good dad joke. Just a quick word pun, and it's over.
It
makes me smile. Almost every single time. The one I saw this week.
It almost put me in the grave. Watching it unfold next to me was awful.
Now I'm dying to hear Ben's.
I saw this one on Instagram. I'm sure it's an old one, but I had never seen it before. So, what did Spartacus say when the lion ate his wife? Nothing. He was gladiator.
I don't think I can go on much longer, to be honest.
Do you get it? Gladiator, as in, a gladiator.
Yeah.
But also.
Yeah, I agree, Caitlin. That is worse than the pirate one. And the crowd goes mild, Joshua says. So you read that on Instagram.
Yeah.
What is your Instagram feed littered with this week?
Dad
Terrible
jokes.
jokes.
Jesus God.
That is, it was tough.
Paulie, do you want to play my original from last night?
Oh, yeah, another one.
Since I sent it. My Instagram feed is now loaded with what I like to call porn.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that.
My Instagram feed was peppered this weekend with young women.
Yes, Ben's dad joke.
Populated with dad jokes.
You were on fire this weekend. This was last night, though. Nothing makes me happier than your banter, the news banter.
The best.
And this was.
I only get a couple chances to do it usually when Megan comes by for the weather.
So you were anchoring last night.
I don't have anyone to talk to. It's just me on the desk.
You were anchoring solo?
I was anchoring solo.
Megan Perry is here. I can give you my weather guarantee. By this time next week, the Meg Ray will be gone.
There you
because
go.
It'll be June gloom.
It'll be June gloom. Exactly. But I will say it does look like as we head into June, we should at least be seeing more sunshine for at least a couple of days. But yeah, that June gloom is coming. All right, so the Padres are in town taking on the Phillies. Tomorrow night, they're taking on at 6:40, first pitch. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-60s. And there is a possibility it could be a bit misty out there. We do see the best chance for maybe a little bit of rain, drizzle, anything like that in the overnight and morning hours, but it's not out of the question that some of that mist or sprinkle activity could continue into the afternoon.
A swing and some mist at the Padres game tomorrow. Thank you, Megan.
Oh my God!
A swing and some mist.
Kind of works both ways because the offense is struggling, and it could be misty at the game tonight. So.
It's pretty good.
I was born for this. I really was.
You really were.
I really was.
God, you're incredible. I don't even know really what to say.
So we went to a break, and she goes, "How long were you trying to think of that?" And I go, "Oh, it just came to me. Just pops in my head."
You are incredible. You're incredible. A swing and some mist. It'd be funny. It'd be really funny if our offense wasn't so bad, and there wasn't some truth to that terrible joke.
There's an unfortunate amount of truth to it right now.
All right,
there's going to be more than some swing and miss.
Oh yes, we will. Let's put some guys on blast next. Right? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
That's what we're supposed to do.
Attack them personally and insult their families.
Correct,
for sure.
It stinks.
Yeah,
you had your chances yesterday, man.
Oh, many more chances than the other team did. That's for sure. That's what makes it more frustrating. It's almost easier just to roll over all the way through the game.
I swear to God, I'd rather have a 12-0 loss. I know. I'd rather. I swear to God,
one guy reached second base. No, that 10 chances with runners in scoring position.
Terrible, dude.
Just continuing a
all right
remarkably bad trend for the homestand. We'll talk about it.
Yep.
That is coming up. We will set the menu for the Tuesday edition. We got some extra guests to pack in today since of the long weekend. We will tell you all about it when we come back. Getting started here with Ben and Woods. New week. Maybe it'll be a good week for your San Diego Padres. I know everyone is very skeptical about that, but we can always be hopeful on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, we spent a lot of time talking about preparation in sports, game plans, adjustments, knowing what could go wrong. But a lot of people head into retirement without anything close to that kind of plan. Between inflation, rising healthcare costs, market volatility, and just the cost of living here in San Diego, it's no surprise retirement is stressful. That's why Trajan Wealth exists. TRAJANwealth.com. Trajan Wealth works with people who want clarity instead of guesswork. Their fiduciary advisors help build personalized retirement and investment strategies based on your goals, your comfort level, because one size never fits all. Local, with offices at Liberty Station, Carlsbad, and Del Mar, so they understand what it really costs to live and retire here. If you've ever thought about getting a second opinion, it's an easy place to start. Just go to TRAJANwealth.com or pick up the phone, call 1-855-TRAJAN1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN1. And when you're ready, everything starts at TrajanWealth.com. Trajan Wealth, plan smarter, dream bigger. Advisory services through Trajan Wealth LLC. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
It's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Ben Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Going to talk a lot of Padres baseball. There's been 4 games since we were last with you on Friday morning.
500, buddy.
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, a series win over the A's. We'll get to that maybe in the 7 o'clock hour, but we'll start with our Padres crap up and yesterday's very frustrating 3-0 loss to the Philadelphia Phillies in the opener to the 3-game series with some positives. I thought Griffin Canning looked pretty good.
Yep.
We will talk about that coming up in our 7 o'clock hour. After Don't Do This, we'll have our MLB reach around. Had a no-hitter, first one since 2024 in Major League Baseball last night. Came at the expense of our friend Skip Schumacher.
No.
And the Texas Rangers yesterday was a combined no-no.
Will we get no-hit this year?
Ooh. I mean, you would think the team with the worst
average, the worst OBP, the worst
would be the one that gets no-hit. It was actually the team with the worst pitching, the Houston Astros, who got the no-hitter. Make it make sense. Never really does in baseball. At 8:35, it's an Incorporator Tuesday. We will be joined by Jesse Agler, voice of the Padres, on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not Big Bank Banking. It is better.
Practical question, Ben?
Yeah.
Now, he never did get Humgruffen in.
He didn't.
Do we make him do double?
Oh,
the H word and the I word.
I think that makes sense.
I do too. See if he can do it.
Should I try to come up with an I word that works with Humgruffen as well?
Fine.
So you can get them all in the same sentence?
Absolutely.
I'll do some research before Jesse joins us at 8:35. And then at 9 o'clock, we'll get our Lynn Side, our usual Monday guest, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic, to join us. Get to a Rydell Report late in the show. Paulie might get to mention the New York Knicks headed to the NBA Finals. They completed their sweep of the Cleveland Cavs, now waiting either the Thunder or the Spurs, who are tied at 2. Game 5 of that series coming up in Oklahoma City. So have some other headlines in sports in our 9 o'clock hour. But a lot to get to, obviously, in the game yesterday, including, well, I mean, the offense has been struggling all year. But this new part with runners in scoring position, that's kind of different. And to me, Woods, the last 2 days in particular are what you kind of feared it would look like if the Padres were going to start going the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's a good point, because to this point, Ben, I can remember vividly, at least a couple of weeks ago, Eno Saris on this show saying, hey, look, Toddy is terrible right now, but his clutch numbers are like 3-7. The team's clutch hitting was spectacular, and we saw it. We saw it translate into wins. When you drop 2 and you don't hit at all, and you leave a ton of runners on, yeah, man, your numbers are not going to look very good. And I think yesterday's game, I think it starts and stops with Manny. I really do. I think Manny is the guy, and he put it on himself after the game. He 100% did. He said, yeah, pretty much if our star player, he called himself the star player, he said if our star player gets hits, we win that game yesterday. There
was really nothing different about the last 2 games compared to the first 49 games of the season. Padres had every chance to win those 2 games, just like they did most of the games that they won. And then in all those games, they came up with some big hits, clutch home runs, late offense, rallied against bullpens, pulled games out of the fire in the 9th inning. They did that so often that they built a pretty darn good record, double digits over 500. But if you stop hitting, eventually you're not going to get those, miracle comebacks at the end. You're not, if you don't get your hits with runners in scoring position, you're going to see a lot of games that you lose 5-2 and 3-0. I mean, you get decent pitching. Your bullpen keeps you in it. Certainly, you're not going to see a lot of games get away from the San Diego Padres. I mean, every team is going to have a clunker every once in a while pitching. But for the most part, the Padres' starting pitching has been good enough, and the bullpen has been outstanding.
Yeah.
That no one's going to be putting up 9-10 on the Padres on a regular basis. They should always be within striking distance.
Within
in a game.
With having the ability to win a baseball game. And I know we've said that before. And I know that I think every skipper we've ever interviewed has said that, right? Hey, man, we just want to be in the game. If we feel like we're in a game in the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, we feel like we've done our job. Now, to really do your job, you're going to have to come through at some of those points. I really liked what Manny had to say after the game. Here's the quote. We're scuffling as an offense, obviously. It doesn't help that your star player leaves 6 on base. 6. There goes the game. I don't really think it's anybody else. You get a hit there, even drive in a run by hitting a ground ball, double play. I should have done that in the first inning. The game changes a little bit there. AC, this is pretty good. Called him the straw that stirs the stink right now, which I think is very, very clever, Kevin.
I thought the media was too soft.
Yeah, that's pretty good. This is the burden of a guy whose contract pays him an average of more than $31.8 million a year. Yeah, man. He you used to say, I believe you coined this phrase allegedly.
As Manny goes, so go the Padres.
Which has not been the case this year at all.
Not really.
Manny's been terrible. And the Padres have found a way to stay how many games above 500 now? 8? 9 again. 9 games. They've been living in this 9 games above 500 world. But, I don't know how we can belabor the point anymore. If the offense doesn't hit, the dam is going to break.
Yeah.
It's going to break, and you're going to lose 7, 8, 9 in a row, and then you're out. Then you're really on the path to mediocrity. But as it stands right now,
they have the 6th best record in all of baseball.
6th best record in baseball with like the worst offense you could possibly draw up almost. And I guess I'm encouraged by that partly, but it sure would be nice for everyone's mental health and well-being for the offense to you don't have to be the world's greatest offense. You need to be average. You need to be average. That's all we're asking you to do. Be an average offense.
Can you imagine what an average offense would be looking like right now? Padres would be close to unbeatable.
I'm telling you, because some of the other aspects of their game look fantastic.
If they hit 200 with runners in scoring position over the last few days, they're probably on a 7-game winning streak. I mean, they're hitting 060, I think, with runners in scoring position on this homestand.
Yeah.
They're 0 for their last 22. 0 for their last 22 with runners in scoring position.
And we've seen these streaks before from this team. We have. They had one of these last year. Remember where it was 0 for, in the 20s, I think, with RISP. You're not going to win a lot of ball games that way. You're just not. You can only get lucky so many times. You can only have a pitcher throw one up the line and you score a run, or a guy get a bad read on the ball and score a run. I mean, you're going to have to start hitting the ball. It's tough.
We'll go specifically through the game here with our Padres crap-up highlights. Get to those right after a check of traffic. Broadcasting live from the Bellhouse Studios, we know how. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
El Cajon to La Mesa into and through San Diego. Your ride westbound on the 8 is moving well all the way to Ocean Beach. I'm Joey Vlasny, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
It's a shame if they lose.
You got a problem.
How did things play out in yesterday's game?
Supremely stupid.
It's time for the Padres
crap up
with Ben and Woods. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, here's something to cheer you up. The rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
We'll give it 16 minutes of salt, and then we'll, get back on the pump and figure it out.
This game has got to come to an end.
It is on 3-2 again. Schwarber in the air to right field on a line. Castellanos turns to watch, and it's going to go. A line drive home run just over the right field fence. His major league leading 21st home run of the season, and 2 batters into the game. The Phillies take a 1-0 lead. 3-2 to Castellanos. Painted pony time. There they go. The pitch is swung on. A broken bat roller to short. Turner's got it. The throw to first is in time. Padres loaded the bases with nobody out. They do not score. First pitch on the way. Manny swings, grounds it to shortstop. Turner has it, goes to second one. Stop to first in time, double play, and the inning is over. Padres again unable to cash in a prime scoring opportunity. First pitch to Trey Turner is swung on and popped up on the infield. Canning pointing to Duran, and a little bit up the line in fair territory. The catcher will make the catch. And Trey Turner ends a very quick 1-2-3-6 for Griffin Canning. Runner on third, 2 outs. The 2-0 pitch is in the air up the right field line, headed towards the Petco porch. This one gonna go! Brandon Marsh just tucks that one over the wall. And at the very last moment, perhaps, for Griffin Canning, a devastating 2-run homer to make it 3-0. Duran comes set and ready. France leads at second base. Now the payoff pitch, and Laureano swings and misses. Strike 3. The ball game is over. Padres are shut down and shut out by Jesus Luzardo and 3 Philadelphia relievers as the Phils win this holiday matinee by a final of 3-0.
Yeah, he pitched great today. Outside of 2 pitches he'd probably like to have back, he did exactly what we needed today. We kind of had a short bullpen, and he got us into the 7th inning, almost got us through the 7th inning. So big outing for him. Saving that bullpen and really giving us a chance to win.
Yeah, I thought the first inning was absolutely critical, obviously, in the game yesterday. Not so much for the Kyle Schwarber home run. He's doing that to everybody right now. 21st of the season. He does own the Padres, and hits better at Petco Park than maybe anyone has ever hit.
It was pretty poetic on the broadcast yesterday. They were just glowing about that 2022 NLCS home run that still hasn't landed.
I was there. I will glow about it for the rest of my life. It was unbelievable.
I think about it often, but they were talking about it. Yeah, you all remember what happened a few years ago, and then they showed the highlight, and then back to the live game, and the next pitch, gone.
It was a long at bat against Canning. You were nervous knowing, he's up there. Wasn't even the worst pitch. Full count, change up, outer half at the knees. Got him out in front of it on a one-handed swing. He's just so strong. that he was able to get it out. But the real, obviously, game deciding, and even I, who tend to remain optimistic, when the Padres loaded the bases with nobody out against Jesus Luzardo in the bottom of the first inning and were unable to score a run, Manny came up. He did work the count full, fouled off a couple, and then a sinker got him right at the knees. He swung over the top of it. Jackson Merrill had one of the worst 3-pitch at-bats I've seen with the bases loaded. Yep. Swing miss, looking strike
awesome.
On the outside corner. And then I thought, this would be poetic. Nick Castellanos against his old team, and he ends up grounding to short. As the Padres, this is hard to do. Padres went 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position in the inning because with the first and second and nobody out, it was an error on the ground ball by Bogarts that loaded the bases. So that's an 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position. And then they went 0 for 2, 0 for 3, and 0 for 4
that's cool.
To not score in that inning. And when they were unable to score in that inning, I did see the vision of, okay, Luzardo's going to lock in. Yeah. That was their best chance. It often is against a good starting pitcher like Jesus Luzardo. And that will probably be the defining moment of the game. I hoped I was wrong, but certainly at that moment, I felt like that's what was going to happen.
Because then they had another opportunity 2 innings later.
In the bottom of the third, first and third, 1 out for Manny Machado. And at that point, I'm thinking, here comes the double play.
Yeah,
it did.
It did.
That's how discouraged we are with Manny at the plate right now. And that was, they had a couple other base runners, but Luzardo ended up going through 6 and giving up the 4 hits and 2 walks, 6 strikeouts against the Padres.
I thought for a second I might have been crazy and I was the only one that fell for it. Did we all think that fly ball to left off of Castellanos' bat was gone?
Run too.
Then Don said it. Then Mud thought it as well. And I guess the Marine layer just knocked that ball down because off the bat I go, that's the second.
It wasn't
deck.
even a warning track. He must not have gotten it as well as we thought he did. I don't blame the Marine layer for those. I tend to think, warning track flies like at the wall. Okay, Marine layer got that one. That was 10 steps
Harper got
onto the grass.
On the Marine layer.
Yeah. Schwarber doesn't, though. Somehow Schwarber is immune to the Marine layer at Petco Park. His balls cut through it quite nicely. Pitching-wise, you could say that Craig Stammen left in Griffin Canning a little too long. Rarely do we see Padres pitchers get into the 7th. His pitch count was decent. Gave up the first 2 runners, and I thought, should you take him out? I think Alec Boehm was up, and I thought, this is dicey. You're leaving him in a little bit too long, and he gets the double play grounder.
Yep.
And there was 2 outs and a runner at third. At that point, it was like, okay, let's see if he can finish out the 7th inning, and he gives up the home run to Brandon Marsh. Which turned to 1-0 game where you thought, well, maybe they got a chance, to a 3-0 game going, with this offense right now, that seems pretty insurmountable. So they didn't score either way. So I can't say that lost the game for the San Diego Padres. But, otherwise, that's what they need from Griffin Canning. Get deep into games, 1 run into the 7th inning. That's a good performance by Griffin Canning.
Take it every single time from Griffin Canning, man. Absolutely. And the pitching has done, they've held up their end of the bargain for this team this year. And I as I drove in this morning, I go, what is a fresh and creative way to talk about the offense? And I racked my brain, Benjamin, and I have nothing. I have nothing other than here we go again. Here we go again. Boom Drizzle said, if Manny goes, the team goes. Manny hasn't gone. The team is playing much better without Manny Machado because, again, I don't really like the Wayback Machine, but on opening day, if you told me on May, what are we at?
26th.
May 26th. Manny, Merrill, Toddy are terrible. What's your record? I'd say we've won 12 games. 12, 13, 14.
Battling the Rockies for last place.
Pavetta's down.
Pavetta's down. Musgrove's down. You knew you was going to be out. Manny sucks. Merrill sucks. And Tatis sucks. How you guys doing this year? I go 12, 13 wins.
I would think 500 would be an absolute miracle under those circumstances.
Oh, my God. Miracle to be at 500.
I mean, put it all together. Craig Stammen, manager of the year, manager of the century for having this team at 9 games over 500. Right
9 games over. And listen, I think we all are, I think a lot of us at least have maybe changed. Like, I like offense in baseball. I do. Call me new school, whatever. I like that 1-0 game against the Dodgers was awesome. I mean, it's the edge of your seat, biting your nails. But I love a 6-5 game, a 7-4 game where your offense shows up. These games are tough to watch. I do not blame the fans and the customers for being upset.
Saturday's 2-0 win was not very fun to watch.
No.
Like, they had 2 hits all night. They looked lifeless for most of the game, and yet you had the lead. Like every other game, you were in it the whole time. But it's been the Padres' recipe for, I don't know. I can't say for failure because they're 9 games above 500, but pitching's going to be pretty good. Offense will keep you within, you're going to be within 1 to 3 runs. Like you're going to be within one swing of the bat of tying it up pretty much the whole game. So that keeps you locked in as a fan, but you don't feel very good.
Confident.
You're not confident about it.
Yeah, it's tough. I think the bummer for me is like there's a lot of stars struggling in baseball right now, a lot. But you still look at their struggles and you're like, oh man, I can't believe his OPS is only 803. You know what I mean? Like, we would kill for our stars to be struggling. If our stars were struggling the way that Lindor, who was the graphic I tweeted the other day? It was Lindor on there. Oh, it was Vladdy Jr. And there was one more star that was really struggling besides Tatis. Acuna. And you look at their numbers, you're like, oh my God, we'd be the best team. We may not have lost a game if our stars were struggling like that.
Not extraordinary struggles.
Correct.
And everybody's had some struggles. It's just the Padres are the one team that their players have just not been able to really get out of them at all.
Yeah.
Trey Turner's been struggling this season as well. You feel like he's going to break out of it against the Padres because he usually does. One other note from yesterday's game, got to give props to Yuki Matsui, who's now up to 12 scoreless innings this year. Got a 1 whip, 13 strikeouts, did not give up a run in 2 innings. Protects the bullpen at the end, keeps you in the game. You have won some games like that. You didn't yesterday, but, those are the kind of performances that will help the Padres steal some wins if they continue to get good performances from guys like Marinaccio and Matsui on the back end of their bullpen, which they really have this season. But, Memorial Day tends to be a big milepost for the season.
For baseball teams,
a lot of times they'll say, don't even look at the standings until Memorial Day. But once you get there, it does tell something. And I believe Kevin Acey had the stat yesterday, 90% of teams that were in playoff position on Memorial Day go on to make the playoffs in the last 4 years since they expanded to the current level of the postseason. Not every team, but it's pretty solid correlation. Padres aren't just in. They're the number 1 wild card team right now. So they're in good shape when it comes to where they are at Memorial Day, and you can expect pretty good things. Now, ESPN put out their piece, and they actually sounded the alarm a little bit as they did their Memorial Day piece, and they said which teams, if there are a team or 2 that falls out of playoff position now the rest of the season, the 2 they picked in the National League were the Cardinals and the Padres. Targeting those teams for regression based specifically on the Padres offense and what they've been unable to do that they feel like, looks fairly unsustainable. Well, the last couple of days, that's what unsustainable looks like. That's why, we have been concerned about the Padres offense and how they've been winning games, because you keep struggling like that, you're going to have more games like the last 2 days and fewer like Nick Castellanos hits a 2-run home run with 2 outs in the 9th inning, or Gavin Sheets hits a walk-off home run to save you from what was really just those 2 games a couple of weeks ago, but they ended up winning them late. Now, that's what happens when you don't have the late heroics these last 2 days.
Yeah, this is a nugget from his newsletter as well. It says Padres have come back to win after being 3 runs down 6 times, more than any other team this season. But yesterday was their 19th loss in a game they trailed by 3 runs at any point. So, there's definitely been 6 of those moments where they've come back and won those games. I mean, listen, guys, at the end of the day, I know those are weird and you shouldn't expect them, but that's still 6 wins, right? That's like you banked 6 wins by quote unquote getting lucky or whatever you want to say, turning an L into a W. So you take them, they count. They're not going to take them away from you, but you cannot rely on that as your entire offense.
6 more losses, 6 fewer wins. They'd be 3 games under 500 right now rather than 9 games over 500.
Yeah.
So, those are absolutely huge. And the reason why they're falling behind by 3 so often,
I think
they're the worst hitting team against starting pitching in baseball as well. So they're getting off to slow starts. Even if their starting pitching is okay, 3 runs in 6 innings is a quality start. Well, you're behind 3-0 in a lot of those games because your offense is doing so little, especially early in the game.
Yeah, it's tough. It's and we talked a lot last week and the week before and the week before and the week before about Steven Souza Jr. And, at this point, Ben, I put it on the players. They're the ones swinging the bat. They're the ones making horrible decisions at the plate a lot of the times. And, I think if you fired him today, does this offense improve?
No,
I don't think so either. I really don't.
Is he safe? I don't know.
I mean, are you the most convenient scapegoat in San Diego right now? Yeah.
At some point, if you're not responding, he may have the right message, but if the players aren't hearing it, then they need someone else to deliver the message. I'm not calling for Steven Souza to be fired, but I am realistic in knowing that a lot of Major League Baseball teams, when faced with a mystifying lack of offense, the only thing they really have in their toolbox is to bring a different voice in.
Oh, of course.
I don't expect anything until at least another month or so. But if they don't get the offense going in the next few weeks, that is something you will consider. That is something any team would consider. And it's not because Steven Souza is incompetent at his job or doesn't know hitting. It's simply because whatever he's saying is not clicking with the players for whatever reason. And it's probably the players' fault more than it is the hitting coach's fault.
Say 100%.
It's not working right now.
But you can't just drop.
You're not going to drop
contracted players like you can
Manny,
hitting coaches. And something has to change. Somebody's got to take a fall.
But when we come back, I want to play what Craig Stammen had to say. And it was very different than what we would have heard last year if the Padres were in a slump, and they were from Mike Schilt. It was definitely a little more honest from the skipper of the San Diego Padres. I think fans will appreciate what Craig Stammen had to say after the game yesterday. Wasn't sugarcoating things, but was also not a doomer and gloomer. As you're not going to see that from a manager, but he was honest about his team's struggles, and we will hear from the skipper of the San Diego Padres when we come back. Hour number 2 of Ben and Woods. We got Don't Do This. We've got a couple of guests later in the show, all coming up on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Hey, got some positive injury updates for the San Diego Padres. Get into those. And again, they did win a couple of games since we've been gone. Welcome back, hour number 2. Ben Woods here on 97.3 The Fan. As Paulie said, though, the wins, especially Saturdays, wasn't all that encouraging either, other than
they got it done.
Lucas Giolito did a nice job dodging trouble. I mean, I saw some people say, well, that was a vintage 2025 Strandy Vasquez performance. Got a lot of runners on, got the double play help a few times at first base from Ty France, who was playing some good defense over there. Got through 5 scoreless innings despite walking 5 and giving up 4 hits. That's usually not a recipe for success, but the Padres used patience rather than offense to get JT Ginn out of the game. He walked 6 in 2 1/3, forced home a run on a hit by pitch of Fernando Tatis Jr. France added an RBI ground out after Ginn left the game, and that was it for the scoring. Perfect bullpen work, Estrada, Morejon, Adam Miller, 1 inning each.
Beautiful.
Just the the pathway to victory that the Padres crafted in the offseason worked perfectly that day, and they got that 2-0 win over the A's to clinch the series.
It was one of those games we never complain about losing, and I wasn't, or complain about winning. Yeah. We never complain about wins, and I wasn't complaining, but I didn't feel great after the game. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I love a win. So I felt good when I felt it's always good to see your bullpen come in and do their job and just shut them down. That's solid. You're not going to win every game 7-0. So it was not a comfortable watch.
Going certainly. 9 innings with 2 hits is not fun.
No, and also all the traffic, right? The traffic on base from Giolito, but hey man, results-based business. The results are there. You got the win, you move on. And again, like Craig said, you just go on to tomorrow and hope it turns around.
It was emblematic of the season to this point. Of I don't know how, but they got the win. I didn't look particularly great. Don't feel super confident, but they won again.
Yeah,
Friday was a win as well. Also a different formula. Padres used power to get that win. They only had 3 hits in the first 7 innings, but they all left the yard. The most important one was answering the 2 runs that Walker Buehler gave up in the top of the first inning by getting a Manny Machado home run in the bottom of the first. It's still in there. I mean, he can still hit a just laser beam home run to left field. Just classic vintage Manny. So it's still in there. Nick Castellanos hit 1 against the A's, and Ramon Laureano hit 1. That was all a sign for encouragement, and then they pulled away with some offense in the 8th inning to give Adrian Morejon the win in relief. Again, Walker Buehler wasn't great.
Singled him to death there in the 8th.
But it was only 7 hits that day. It was 2 hits the next day. The Padres, again, couldn't hit on Sunday in the 5-2 loss. They fell behind on a Michael King just didn't really have it, wasn't sharp, gave up the leadoff home run and never really got it going. It was probably one of his worst performances of the season, just 3 2/3 innings. But Padres could not get a hit with runners in scoring position. Ty France had the solo home run, but they just never really came back and threatened. So that's, several straight days of offensive struggles in a row. So much so that the manager can't hide it. He knows what's going on. And I thought he was refreshing and frank about his team's struggles when asked about it by Dennis Lin after the game yesterday.
What is your overall assessment of the offense?
My overall assessment of the offense? Well, we're not as good as we expected right now. We haven't been scoring as many runs as we've come accustomed to with this type of players in the lineup. They know it. We know it. The whole world knows it. We keep talking about it every day. We keep trying new things and new ideas, and we keep working our tails off. And that's one thing that these guys have done over the course of the season is they have worked their butt off, and they have worked on the little things. And that's how we've won so many games. They've found a way to be great at the little things that have helped us win games, win close games. Eventually we're going to break through and we're going to have, these guys hitting on all cylinders. Right now is not when it's happening, but hopefully soon.
I think that's fair. You can't gloss over the offensive struggles, but the Padres have won games because they haven't let it bleed over into the other elements of their game. They continue to play good defense. They continue to be sharp. They make good decisions for the most part. I know they had a couple of runners thrown out on base on Sunday.
That's tough.
But Craig Stammen was adamant in his defense of aggressive base running. He said, if we're not getting thrown out every once in a while, we're not doing what we should be doing out of the base paths. And I agreed with that. If you never get thrown out, then you are not trying enough. I mean, you never want to see a guy get thrown out by 10 feet, but both of those, they had to at least pause and go, hey, can we look at the replay, see, make sure he got the tag down? They were close plays. You sent Ty France. You didn't give Miguel Andujar a chance to drive in runs with 2 outs, but, well, I mean, you got a team that's in an 0 for 22 stretch with runners in scoring position. Do you gamble and try to send a runner, or do you wait for another guy to make an out at the plate? I think you gamble and send a runner in a situation like that and make the other team make a perfect double relay throw to get to home plate. That's what I think. Tatis a little too aggressive. He just wants an extra base hit so badly, and he saw that area in the gap, and he thought he could get to second. That was a bad decision by Tatis, but certainly understand wanting to get into scoring position with 2 outs
ball
there.
Landed, I knew he was going.
I did too.
So did he.
I thought he was going to make it also, and he didn't. Probably should have stayed at first, but then you get a runner at first base, 2 outs, and you need two more hits with 2 outs to score a run.
Right.
Padres haven't been doing that, so I think aggression on the base paths is fine, but for the most part, they continue to play good baseball. They just aren't hitting the baseball. Can you separate those two things? I mean, I don't know. A lot of fans can't. I think they see a bad offense and they see a team that is listless and not into it and doesn't care.
Yeah, I don't see that.
I don't see that. I see a team that is very into it, that is very sharp, that just can't hit. Yeah. And, the danger is that just like any one of us, that they get frustrated and they start letting it bleed over into everything else. And then you start playing sloppy baseball and things really get bad.
Yeah. I mean, I think you can be an incomplete team that still plays good baseball. I think those exist. I think that's probably what the Padres are. They're very incomplete. Obviously, we know the offensive struggles. Oh my God. If we had a nickel for every time we said offensive struggles, we'd be rolling in nickels right now, Benjamin. But again, you can't discount being 9 games up. You hope that continues, that kind of gritty way that you find to win games at times, like the 2-0 victory over the A's. I mean, that's a tough win, man. But you got it at the end of the day.
A's are a pesky team.
They're pesky. They are pesky.
They're not a bad team. They're not the A's of the last, however many years.
No, they are pesky. I love that we won that series. This series is going to be a little bit tougher to win now, based on the fact that you let Luzardo off the hook yesterday. You did. You had him. You had him on the ropes, and you let him off the hook.
His numbers don't look great, but his numbers behind the numbers, his FIP, it looks pretty good. He's still a very good left-handed pitcher in Major League Baseball. And yeah, you had to take advantage early when you had those runners on. Just knew that when they didn't score early, that's how that game was going to go.
I mean, it is us and the Mets right now, Ben. We are percentage points away at this point, with it being the who's the worst offense, right? So our average right now as a team is dead last, 219. They got us. Actually, the Mets are way above us with a 227 average. This is the one. OBP is tough because you're hearing, oh, man, Manny's walking more, and that's true. But they are 294 with an OBP. They're 29th in baseball.
Like usually having a 70 to 80 point higher OBP than average, it's pretty good. Right. Means you're being really selective. It's just because the average is so low that the OBP is so low. They need to get the average up. They don't need to walk more. They need to hit more.
Slug is second to last. And OPS, on base plus slugging. Padres are 29th. So they are they're jockeying. They're 29th, 30th, 29th, 30th, 29th, 30th in the major offensive categories. So I'm amazed. Should we be giving them credit exclusively for being 9 games over with an offense as putrid as that? It's hard to fathom.
It's remarkable.
Yep.
Now the Padres are getting a little healthier. Had some updates over the weekend from Craig Stammen, Dennis Lynn, writing in The Athletic, including at least some optimistic news about Joe Musgrove, Paulie. He's going to start throwing again this week, I believe. Yeah.
Dennis reported yesterday that he should start throwing this week with the plan to get him back into the rotation sometime shortly after the All-Star break.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know if that's longer or shorter than we had originally thought, but we're almost through May now, and so him any update. We haven't gotten an update on Joe in like 6 weeks.
Yeah,
so
I mean, you got to feel like any progression is going to be 5 or 6 weeks once you start throwing to where you can actually enter a game. So that timeline
we're
shakes
about,
out.
6-7 weeks from the All-Star break?
Nick Pivetta is still not throwing. He says he's just trying to remain patient. He feels good, but wants to not come back too quickly. So he's definitely a second half of the season guy, but he fully expects to pitch again this season. Again, though, you can add both of those guys in, and it doesn't change the fundamental equation. Those guys will keep the Padres in games just like their other pitchers are keeping the Padres in games. You have to score to win. Those guys don't help. Now,
let me throw a wrinkle at you. Maybe we bring Joe back as a hitter, and while you're rehabbing, swing the bat a little bit. Not going to hurt you.
Well, their average with runners in scoring position looks like a bad pitching hitter, bad hitting pitcher from the 1990s. So that couldn't be much worse than it already is. One guy who actually was hitting before he went on the injured list was Luis Campusano. He is getting closer. He's catching bullpens.
Good.
He is taking batting practice. He has resumed baseball activities, and according to Craig Stammen yesterday, is getting closer to a potential return. I'm not going to say that Luis Campusano is the savior of the Padres offense, but hey, he was one guy who was hitting like 290 before he went down, and the Padres need average and guys who are getting hits, and he was one of the few guys who was actually getting some base hits. You also heard news that German Marquez and Matt Waldron are both up and starting their throwing programs as well. Neither guy really seems to have a spot in the Padres rotation if they come back, but more healthy arms is probably a good thing. So in general, some positive injury updates from the San Diego Padres over the weekend.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, Joe said too, he goes, I it's going to take a while to get built back up. He goes, I could come in as a reliever if you needed sooner, but I know these guys want me to start.
And Jake Cronenworth was back at the ballpark
so I'm throwing
over
it around
the weekend, which was good. I don't think that means he's close to a return, but, healthy enough to get back out onto the field, toss some baseballs around, and start making some slow progressions after the concussion.
Yeah.
And again, Jake was struggling badly, but so is everybody else. Yeah, and, I think having Jake Cronenworth back gives the Padres more flexibility in the lineup, would give them more options, and, hopefully he can come back and be just, normal Jake Cronenworth and not join everybody else in just a massive offensive struggle.
Sure.
It's incredible how many guys are struggling. Tatis, Machado, now Bogarts, now Castellanos.
It's really
before he got
not
hurt,
struggling.
Merrill. Before he got hurt,
Ty
Cronenworth.
Ty France is playing really well.
Ty France, Gavin Sheets.
kind of. I mean, Tatis still got on base 4 times.
Tatis has actually had a lot on base and pretty good week the last few days without any power, but getting on base, leadoff hitting, doing what he should be doing there. But for the most part, just massive struggles from everybody, mostly up and down the lineup for the Padres.
Yeah, it's a tough scene.
All right, let's take a timeout. When we come back, get to Don't Do This. We had some very problematic hot mic audio from the NCAA Softball World Series.
Was it technically a hot mic or was it a break-in?
It was both. Crowd mic as well.
I don't know what it was, but it was something else.
Plus,
we had to bleep it.
We still don't know what we can and cannot play.
Right.
You think Ben is good at polishing losses. Wait until you hear.
Oh, this guy. Is this guy your hero?
Wait,
is this guy
your
hero?
Kenny Atkinson of the Cleveland Cavaliers. His season is over now. We'll get to both of those coming up. And Don't Do This after a quick timeout. Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, played at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
Maybe all the the struggles on the baseball side of things means there's some luck to be had around San Diego for the rest of us.
Could be.
Perhaps sitting down at one of the great tables at 7 Mile Casino. Get some good cards at a California-style blackjack. Get some pocket aces in Texas Hold'em.
I feel like 80% of our lineup would hit on 20 or split 10s, which you're never supposed to do, by the way. Don't get crazy.
How about a royal flush in
Yes.
Pai Gow poker? You know what a royal flush is, Woods?
Yes, I know what a royal flush is.
I just want to make sure that you know what a royal flush is. You don't see them very often.
You don't.
But they are awesome. Pay out big on Pai Gow poker. Those are the games plus Baccarat that you can play at 7 Mile Casino.
Means?
Yes, is it payout, right?
Make sure you know what a royal flush is.
I know what a royal flush is. Ace, king, queen, jack, all the same suit.
Correct. 10.
Oh, 10. Yeah.
10. You
5.
need 10.
That's 5. He's completely thrown me off with his little quiz. Just wanted to tell you guys it's just 7 minutes away from downtown, so that's great. You can go. Listen, if the boys lose a close one, great place to go. Get your mind off it.
7 minutes away. You get 7 cards in Pai Gow Poker.
That's right.
5-card hand and a 2-card hand. 7 cards, 7 minutes away. Makes it easy to remember.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that we've been telling you for years and years on end that it's 7 minutes from downtown should probably be within your brain at this point. But check it out right off the 5 freeway in Chula Vista, 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Don't Do This brought to you by Dixie Line Lumber and Home Centers, helping San Diego homeowners and contractors fix it, build it, and
enjoy it.
You remembered.
I did.
It's been a couple of weeks.
It has.
All right, DDT gets started with the Women's College Softball World Series, which is, a pretty big-time event. They televise every single game. It's fairly major coverage now on ESPN. And during one of the games, let's see, who was playing in this game? I think it was Arizona State.
Let me
see if you've got the name of the teams that were involved. Doesn't really matter who the teams were. Basically, some Yahoo was sitting in the stands, and I think
Texas and Arizona State.
Yeah, okay. Texas and Arizona State was sitting in the stands as the game's just going on. And I don't know, I've seen this a couple of times when you sit usually near the dugouts or near the front row, you can see a crowd mic. It's like pointed, a directional mic to pick up ambient sounds of the field, like the crack of the bat and, the ball hitting the glove. They need to have a couple of those mics pointed toward the field. But if you are a mischief maker, you can lean over and speak into it, and that will get picked up on the broadcast fairly clearly. And what the guy said is, it was inappropriate, especially during a women's softball game. So Paulie's bleeped out half of it just to kind of keep it from being too...
It's inappropriate during a men's softball game,
That's true.
too. Yeah.
Inappropriate during any game at all. But
wonderful relationship, those two. And she said when you come to Austin, they tell you you're going to compete for national championships as an assistant, and then they're going to send you off.
So we bleeped the second half of it. I don't know. I mean,
did the broadcasters even hear it?
I don't know if they heard it or they just ignored it.
He's either the professional of all professionals, or he didn't hear it because there wasn't even a stutter. He just kept going.
And she said when you come to Austin, they tell you you're going to compete for national championships as an assistant.
So think if you were a coach and you had a sack that you carried all the balls in.
That's what he said.
That's what he was saying.
Right. I mean, none of those words are like FCC violation words. Just putting them all together,
ball,
it's
you can say sack.
You can say lick. They're all different words that you can say.
Say that. Yeah, you could say it. It's the combination of all.
Don and Mud would have died laughing in the chat. I don't know if they would or what would have happened.
If we called it a bag?
Like a bag of balls, a pouch,
ball pouch.
I want to hear it one more time because listen how sinister this guy's voice is.
Wonderful relationship, those two. And she said when you come to Austin, they tell you
what is that? Lick my. Why does he talk like that?
Lick my. Had a rough night at Pappy and Harriet's, it sounded like the night before.
God, even mine wasn't that rough. I got a text over the weekend from our pal and your pal, Darren Smith. And he sends Sunday, 3:55 p.m., sends me a clip of Cavaliers head coach Kenny Atkinson. And they have now dropped at this point. Now, they got swept. So at this point, Ben, they had dropped 3 in a row.
Right. They were down 0-3.
And this is him talking to the New York media, the very, very tough New York media. Listen to this.
Oh,
whenever you're
Sorry,
ready.
I'm pulling it
That's fine. Whenever you're ready.
Nope. Don't have it.
I texted it to you.
Oh, you texted it to me. That's why.
I told you that when you got in. That's fine. We can wait.
We can do it without the
No.
I mean, I know what he said.
I want to hear it. No, I don't. You're not going to recreate.
I got it.
He's got it. Here we go.
I think we've won the I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3.
Analytically, we've won 2 out of 3.
Analytically,
yeah.
I think we've won the I said 3 out of 3. We're 2 out of 3. And the expected. Why don't you guys follow that? That was an expected score.
Pause. No, Kenny. We just look at the win-loss record.
It's tough to hear with the balls bouncing and the screeching of the hardwood in the background, but he says analytically we've won 2 out of 3 games on the expected score.
Correct, but they're in real life. They were 0-3 at the time. Continue.
They got swept, yes.
Yeah, I got swept.
And we won 2 out of 3. And I know you're looking confused, but I'm not. There is really, if you believe in process and all that, like man, So, take that later. I know I don't throw that on them. I see it for myself. I'm like, man, we have this feeling. I have this feeling. Then I can go to our analytical table and be like, man, we are. Last night it was the expected score was like 1 point or 2. Us shooting way below expected, them shooting way over. I know no one wants to hear that. I think you guys like hearing it. I know, general public, no one wants to hear that.
No, nobody wants to hear that.
That's probably why I wouldn't say it in the media. That hey, honestly, we're down 3-0. In reality, we're 2-1. Okay, you guys don't know this yet, but we are 2-1.
I will say that I am certainly guilty of
turd polishing.
Yeah, and going in to show the numbers why, hey, things are better than they may look. But I think that's only relevant when you're like early in a regular season.
Yeah. In the playoffs.
Hey, you know what? If they keep playing like this, things are going to be fine. We're just a little off shooting phase right now, but overall, I really like how things are going. Once you get to the playoffs, doesn't matter at all. Right. If you're down 3-0, doesn't matter. You didn't shoot. You didn't get the job done. You can't analytically polish anything away in the playoffs because your season's going to be over. It only matters, do we need to make major changes? No. We've got 70 games left. We're playing really well. The balls just aren't going in the hoop for us right now, but I like what I'm seeing. To me, that makes perfect sense. When you're down 3-0 in the Eastern Conference Finals, now it's a disaster, and it's time to panic, and you've got to figure something out to make it work because you're about to be eliminated, which they were last night.
What's the Padres expected 1-loss record right now?
It's just 500, basically.
Is it?
Yeah, they're definitely worse than they're a worse team than their record shows.
Correct.
And I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
No.
Which is great. I mean, you always want to outplay your expected record if you can, but they have to play better or they will start regressing back toward 500.
So the funniest part of it was Darren sent it to me and I laughed and I said, woof. And he goes, how am I even supposed to be excited being up 3-0 as a Knicks fan? And you should because you're handling the business. But I thought that was a really, really good don't do this quote from Kenny Atkins.
And I think the do this is the
DD mega
other side of the coin. The happiness, the Knicks fans.
Oh my God, it was crazy.
Ending a 27-year drought from getting to the finals, seeing the celebrities on the court,
Timothy
Chalamet, looking like just kids and just the fans around Madison Square Garden. That place is going to be nuts. And congratulations as well. Do this to Mike Brown, former coach at USD, graduate from San Diego here, who has gotten another team to the finals. You always want to blame coaching. He has been fired, twice by the Cavs. He was fired by the Kings, the Sacramento Kings a year and a half ago. And now he's got the Knicks in the NBA Finals again. Kind of tells you that, a coach is a good coach and is going to have some bad teams and bad seasons. But in the long run, Mike Brown's a good coach who has gotten the job done more often than not. And he's once again heading back to the NBA Finals, this time with the New York Knicks. Pretty good story.
And what's the other series at right now?
2-2.
2-2.
Yeah, big one tonight in Oklahoma City.
I was talking to my buddy. He's a big Knicks fan. He just said, now you just pray for Game 7 and a lot of overtime and have those two teams just beat the hell out of each other.
Can you tell that story? What happened to him?
I was going to do it in the round report.
Okay, right, save it for the round report. It's a DDT, but he'll save it for the round report.
I need to still get a couple of details.
It's
but
just unbelievable.
Yeah, the Knicks have won 11 in a row, which is incredible. I'd almost be afraid, boy, I wish we could just start playing the NBA Finals in a couple of days.
The old rest versus rust, buddy.
But you want to keep that momentum going right into the games. I don't think there's a game for another week or so for Game 1, so they're going to have to figure out a way to stay sharp while the other two teams, admittedly, beat up on each other. They're going to have home court advantage in the West, whoever wins the Spurs or the Thunder. They're probably the better team, but I don't know how you can totally bet against the Knicks right now and how hot they've been. And that is don't and do this for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, when we come back, we got plenty more baseball to get to, including a no-hitter, the first one in baseball since 2024 in the major leagues.
Is that right?
Is that Dylan Cease?
It might have been, one of them.
Was he the last no-hitter?
And it probably wasn't even the best pitching performance in baseball yesterday, honestly.
No doubt.
We will get to all of that coming up next in our MLB Reach Around with Ben and Woods, broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
He just, here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
so let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
Oh, that is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
No hitter. Nah. I'm very mad on it. I am.
I'm very glad the Padres got a real one.
Yes,
and their first one was not a combined.
Correct.
It's
still
mad
impressive, but
it's fine.
It doesn't feel the same as one pitcher doing it himself.
No, it does not. It just does not. So congratulations, I guess, to the Houston Astros. For their pitching staff to not give up a hit is impressive because they've been, as bad as we are at offense, the Houston Astros are that of pitching this year. Yeah. So congratulations.
Has there been a combined perfect game?
Ooh, I don't think so. No, they've only been individual.
I don't even know what the closest games, to it is.
It feels like if the Padres' only goal was to throw a no-hitter and it was okay if it was a combined one, yeah, just, save up as many Mason Miller pitches and Adrian Morejon. Yeah. And if all those guys are on, it would happen eventually.
Yeah, I think so.
If you're kind of just throwing your best bullpen arms, just one after another, eventually it'll happen. That would be poor management strategy over the course of the year, just trying to go for no-hitters, but just doesn't feel the same. Now, the one that happened yesterday is pretty crazy story. I'll go through some of the details for you. We'll get to it all in our MLB Reach Around right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
Santee, the westbound 52 is slow in the usual spot before and after the 125. Then you move well all the way to the 5. Joey Vlasny, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
This game day traffic report is brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine spring water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
They're doing the reach around. They're doing the reach around. Everybody's doing the reach around. Yeah, hard to believe. It has not been a no-hitter in Major League Baseball since 2024 until yesterday, when one of the more unlikely teams accomplished the feat. It was the Houston Astros, who have had the worst pitching staff in baseball through the first third of the season. But Tetsuya Imai, their Japanese import, came through with 6 shutout innings. Then they went to Steven Okert for an inning of relief, no hits as well. And what makes this story pretty impressive, this was in Texas against the Rangers at Globe Life. The final pitcher they brought in he's named Alimber Santa. It was his Major League Baseball debut. They brought him in a no-hitter. Now, they had a big lead at the time, so
9-0.
You don't necessarily want to waste your highest leverage relievers, but it is a no-hitter, and he got it done. 2 innings, no hits, 1 strikeout, no walks, and he finished off the first no-hitter in baseball since 2024, 3 pitchers for the Houston Astros, who I believe now have 17 no-hitters in franchise history, which is far and away the most in Major League Baseball all time, going down to the Padres, who have the one that they have. Well, yeah, 2 now. 2. They have the 2 now with Joe and Dylan. But 17 is pretty impressive. Of course, they did have Nolan Ryan pitching for them for a while, which helps out a bit. But most of his came with the Rangers, I think. So, and they've had more combined no-nos than anyone else in baseball as well in Major League history.
Yeah, I think if you're an Astros fan, that Imai was a guy you were really excited about. You spent a lot of money on that guy to bring him over, too. And as soon as he got there, Ben, he scuffled badly. And then there were reports that he doesn't like the United States. Like, he's having a really hard time adjusting, which makes sense. It's something I think all fans forget about. You expect a guy to come over and be like, oh, it's just baseball. Well, there's a language barrier, and he doesn't get the same food that he got. Yeah, it's hard, right? Like, and it's a different language entirely. And for him to come in and kind of right the ship, that's got to feel good for him and them.
Whatever you do, do it well. Pick a country. They want to pay. They want to pay you really well to go work there.
Go work in
Bulgaria. Are you going to be at your best? No. Are you going to be completely happy? You're making a lot of money to do whatever you do, but there's a lot of things you got to think about.
The guy's like, it's just radio, Woods. Why are you terrible? Now I'm like, I don't speak this language. Are you kidding? I have a guy here whispering in my ear telling me what to say on the radio.
Alimber Santa became just the second player in MLB history to be part of a no-hitter in his Major League debut. The only other one, 1892, when Bumpus Jones twirled a no-hitter.
When men were men in 1892.
MLB debut. It's also the third no-hitter all-time at Globe Life Field.
What a game yesterday. Bumpus Jones on the mound.
First, of course, was Joe Musgrove, and then Corey Kluber did it a month later in 2021. That's the first one at Globe Life since then.
I wonder how many pitches Bumpus Jones threw in his no-hitter. My guess is 187 pitches, and then pitched 2 days later.
Probably.
It's crazy.
What should have just retired at that point.
What does that tell you about pitching in 1892? How they used to throw, like Cy Young won 511 games. 511. It will never be close. It's the one record that will never be broken.
Of course.
Ever. No one will even sniff 511. No one will even sniff 4.
I don't know if there'll ever be a 300-game winner
I think you're right. What does it say? Like, what does your logical Ben brain tell you? What did they throw, 48 miles an hour?
Weren't throwing as hard.
The ball was dead.
Yeah.
It was a dead ball.
They used scuffed up old
like spit and tar and stuff on it. How do you do that? You literally you throw 48 miles, you throw probably 60 miles an hour. Top speed, right?
Now, we don't hear the stories of probably the myriad guys who got hurt after their arm injury after their first season and never pitched again. Back then, you only hear the ones who just had the rubber arms that could keep going because that's what they did. There were a lot of guys who I'm sure couldn't handle the workload of pitching every second or third day like they did. This just lost to the history of the game.
Yeah.
Those guys, no one chronicled the injury report and what was going on. Guy was just there one day. He was gone the next, and no one really knew why, but it was probably because tore an ACL in his arm. They still had ACLs back in the 1800s.
Yeah.
We didn't know what they were or that they could be fixed or anything like that, but I'm sure there were plenty of pitchers back in the day that tore ACLs and never pitched again.
They just literally went back to the farm and just started working on the farm.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Trying to dig into this Bumpus Jones game.
Yeah, I need to know more about Bumpus.
Could not find how many pitches he threw, but I did see on the box score from, by the way, October 15th, 1892.
Okay.
The game time was 1 hour and 18 minutes.
Okay, so he was shoving. He didn't throw a lot of pitches. He was just efficient. The dead ball.
Didn't have a lot of in-between inning entertainment.
No.
I take it.
No. See, Adam says they threw very hard back in the day. I don't see how. With all of the guys that throw hard now and all of the injuries that occur now, for Cy Young, you're telling me that Cy Young threw very, very hard. I can't reconcile it in my brain. Hard for now or hard for then? And what did hard for then look like?
I'm sure he was trying to throw as hard as he could and probably figured out a way back in the day to maximize his velocity.
This is something that I think about on probably 3 to 4 times a week.
Because the quick Google AI answer to how hard were pitchers throwing in the 20s was in 1920, the average fastball sat in the mid to high 70s. Pitchers prioritized endurance over velo.
I would have been a professional ball player.
Fireballers like Walter Johnson could reach speeds in the low 90s.
Paulie, I feel like if I was in 1919, I could have played. Because I can rip 70 miles an hour. In the cage, no problem. 70 is my speed. Anything above that is tough.
You couldn't even handle one night of drinking at Pappy and Harriet's.
I handled it.
What about those trains every single day? Train rides and all the alcohol they had to consume every single day.
They didn't have to.
Oh, I think they did. I think they pretty much did.
I don't think they had to. Adam Paul saying, well, they knew how to pitch.
You'd be called a pansy and sent back to the farm if you couldn't drink your way through every single
first
game.
They threw hard. Now they know how to pitch.
They knew how to pitch.
We're
They
just
knew how to
keep
locate.
backtracking
Keep
until
backtracking about how great it was in 1892 with Bumpus Jones. I don't know. I've seen the videos. It doesn't look like they're throwing that hard.
No, Nails is right. Not the ACL. The UCL is in your elbow. The ACL is in your leg. The UCL is what tears for Tommy John surgery. In the NL West yesterday, the Dodgers scored 4 in the 7th to overcome a 3-1 deficit against the Colorado Rockies. Freddie Freeman with the go-ahead RBI double. 5-3. Dodgers win it. They've built now a 2.5-game lead over the San Diego Padres.
Here we go.
In the NL West. But that's not the team I'm really focused on right now. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks who have all of a sudden got hot.
Oh, boy.
They won for the 8th time in 9 games, beating the Giants 6-2. Ketel Marte with 4 hits and 3 runs batted in. Now, they're doing all this damage against the Giants and Rockies. They're the only teams they've played over the last 2 weeks, but they are certainly making hay against those two teams and have climbed their way from under 500 to a few games over 500. And I would expect the Diamondbacks will be kind of in it throughout the remainder of the season. And remember, they could be getting Corbin Burns back later in the year, could be getting some of their bullpen help, Justin Martinez, and who's the other guy that they had that's hurt? They had a couple of AJ Puck, I believe, could come off the injured list later in the year. So they could be getting some reinforcements as well on the pitching side of things. So if they hang around, I would expect them to be active at the trade deadline and doing pretty well. So Diamondbacks over the Giants 6-2. Pirates beat the Cubs 2-1. Cubs, weird story.
They're off the cliff.
So they had won 14 or 15 in a row at home. Then they went on a winless homestand. Now they've lost 9 in a row. They've had 2 10-game winning streaks, a 9-game losing streak. They're only 4 games above 500, and it's basically all with those 2 big winning streaks. Other than that, they've been one of the worst teams in the league. But you can say that about any team. The Padres had their 17-4 stretch. Outside of that, they've played 4 games under 500.
Yeah,
you eliminate the good parts of a season. For most teams, they're going to look pretty bad. But the Cubs have been especially bad lately as they've lost 9 in a row. I mentioned that even the no-hitter, probably not the best pitching performance of the day. That goes to Jacob Misiorowski, who went 7 innings. Yes, he gave up 2 hits and a run, but he struck out 12. And he was throwing 103 in the first inning. I think he threw, 40 to 50 pitches over 100 miles an hour in his start. He has been, I think, the best pitcher in the National League, better than Paul Skeens in this first half of the season. It's been absolutely fantastic as the Brewers beat the Cardinals 5-1.
Not as good as Bumpus Jones.
No. Not a no-hitter.
Bumpus.
The Reds beat the Mets 7-2. The Mets have lost 4 in a row. The Reds have won 4 of their past 5. Yankees got a go-ahead 2-run single from Anthony Volpe in the 9th inning to beat the Royals 4-3. What a weekend for Colton Cowser of the Orioles. He had 2 straight days with walk-off home runs.
That's a good
for the
weekend.
Orioles. One yesterday was crazy. Came in the 13th inning. You don't see a lot of 13-inning games anymore. Neither team scored in the 10th. Both teams scored 2 in the 11th. Both teams scored 1 in the 12th. Tampa scored 2 more in the top of the 13th, and then they gave up the 4, including the walk-off home run by Cowser in the bottom of the 13th, and lost. So it was 2-2 going to extras, 9-7 the final in favor of the Orioles yesterday. Munetaka Murakami hit his 18th home run of the season to lead the White Sox past the Twins 3-1. The Marlins beat up on Trey Savage as they beat the Blue Jays 8-2. The Nationals are the best offense in baseball right now. They got 6 home runs.
Good God.
Including C.J. Abrams and James
He's
Wood.
red hot right now, by the
Both
way.
going deep. He's the front runner for starting shortstop in the National League
They're
right now
2
for the
games
All-Star
out
game.
right now of the Braves.
Don't we? Yes, we play them this weekend.
That right?
They're not 2 games out of the
wild
Braves.
card.
They're 2 games out of the last wild card spot.
8.5.
Yeah, Padres have to go to Washington on their next road trip.
Cool.
Facing a fairly hot Nationals team that beat the Guardians 10-2. And the Seattle Mariners took care of the Oakland A's yesterday in the final game of the day. 9-2 was the final in that one. They did a little piggyback, Luis Castillo and Bryce Miller, because they have the 6 starters now that Bryce Miller is back. So they did 4 innings of Castillo and 5 innings of Bryce Miller, and it worked out for both of them. Don't think Castillo was too happy about coming out after 4 shutout innings, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, but they had a plan.
They had a plan.
And
Big
they
piggyback
stuck with it.
And he flipped out in the dugout, man. He was throwing all his stuff around, and Mariners fans were not happy. They're like, bro, you got a 7 ERA. Like, it's your fault that we're in this spot where we have to piggyback with you. You did your job. Congratulations. You end up winning.
I don't know
game.
if it's his fault. I mean, Bryce Miller certainly deserves to be in the rotation as well. I think Luis Castillo should say, maybe I'm lucky to even have a spot still in the big leagues because there are 5 pitchers on this team
and I'm
better than I am.
I'm the weak link here.
Yeah.
So I can't be pitching a fit in the dugout with a 7 ERA. I went out and did my job today. They asked me to go 4. I did. And I'm going to be happy because, well, it's the team. The team is the most important thing. So I don't know, man. It was not a good look yesterday for him.
Yeah, Mariners are 3 games under 500, one of the biggest disappointments probably so far in baseball, but they're only a game and a half out of first place,
of course,
because the A's
play in the American League
are at 500, so that's fine. You look at the wild card standings again in the American League. Even the Houston Astros, who have been terrible. They're 2.5 games out of a playoff
crazy.
spot.
No one's going to trade
and 31.
in the AL.
The Red Sox are 3 games out of a playoff spot at 22 and 30. There's no separation anywhere at all, other than the Yankees, who are 6 games up, and the Rays lead that division, and the Guardians lead theirs. Everyone else, the White Sox, 1 game above 500. The Twins, 2 games under 500, have the last playoff spot right now.
The Angels at 20 and 34 are 6 games out of the wild card. Okay, there's if AJ Preller's making calls,
that's 2 good weeks.
It's 2 good weeks.
You're
right back in it,
position.
man. You're right back in it, and I mean, it's just putrid. You look at some of these teams right now, Ben. There are only right now in the AL. Is this right? In the wild card, 1, 2, 3 teams with a positive run differential. 3. That's it. The rest are all negative. Turd. You're not going to be able to trade with anybody over there because everybody's going to think they're in it. I mean, this is Perry Manazian's dream.
Yeah.
He's like, guys, we're 6 out of it. We're still in this thing.
It'll make them make another bad decision at some point.
It's crazy.
In the National League, Padres lead the wild card race. They're a game and a half up on the Cardinals and 2 games up on the Diamondbacks, who've moved into that last wild card spot. They actually went ahead of the Cubs. Cubs wouldn't even be in the playoffs today.
That's
if
insane.
They started, which is pretty crazy. But the Reds are just a game out. The Pirates are just a game and a half out. The Nationals 2, Phillies 2.5 at 500. So plenty of teams still alive in the National League playoff chase as well. Should make for a very interesting summer and see what teams are going to do and how they're going to try to improve themselves as we get closer to July and October.
Yeah, keep stacking these wins when you can get them.
All right, that is it for 2 hours. We got a couple of guests coming up in our 8 o'clock hour on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better. Jesse Agler will join us at 8:30. Dennis Lynn will be with us at 9 o'clock. We'll also play our first game of the week, take on Woods. And we've got the first 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego County Fair to give away in our second half of the program. Yep, it is already that time of year again. All coming up with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer. Ben Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Got a Tier 1 way out in Fort Worth, Texas, by the name of Max Olson. And he turned 17 on Sunday. He DM'd me. Said, "Can I get a shout out?" I said, 17, buddy? It's a great age to be. Great age to be. So
happy birthday, Max.
Happy birthday, Max. Can't buy cigarettes yet, nor should you, ever.
I've also got a shout out as well, a birthday, a literal birth day.
Oh, someone born
over the weekend. The youngest Tier 1 in the audience, Winnie Winslow Juliet.
Great name.
Last name, won't say who. But yeah, one of our buddies, Tier 1. We gave him a shout out. That was kid number 4 of my friend, and we gave him a shout out for baby number 1 was born during the show. So baby number 4 was born over the weekend
during our show. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was like early on, like one of our first shows, our first year of our show. We gave him a shout out.
Crazy.
For baby number 1. So I said, all right, I'll keep it rolling.
4.
But baby number 4 came on, I think, Sunday morning, overnight, Sunday night. Saturday night, Sunday morning.
They're being fruitful and multiplying.
I mean, I wonder if they make love and make babies to Ben and Woods. We have heard stories that people have done it before, which creeps me out.
Number 4, though. Last time I saw him and his wife, I just said, dude, will you give her a break for the love of God?
Yeah, let her be, dude.
Get off of her.
Obviously, you can do it any time of the day, but I don't think about it as much, in the mornings. I do sometimes think, like when I'm anchoring last night.
About making babies?
Well, I just know that I'm on at 11 o'clock. And a lot of people have television on.
Oh, yeah.
Local news, it's just on in the background while they're doing something else. And I'm the one
making babies.
I'm in the room with them while they're doing what they're doing.
Weird thing to think
about.
If
I was doing that,
you think about it when you do TV news late at night.
And I happened to glance over at the TV, and it was his mug on the face on the TV. It would ruin the mood for me.
Sorry,
nothing against you. Sorry, babe.
I can't. There's no chance.
Cigarettes are 21 now. I did not know that. That's a good, strong. Did you know that? You got to be 21.
Since when?
That's what somebody said.
Yeah, I mean,
makes sense.
Yes and no, because if you can go serve your country and,
at 18,
go to war at age 18, I feel like you should be able to
smoke a
cigarette if you wanted to, if you're on a battlefield somewhere.
It's been one of the craziest things. Like a kid can go over and fight in war.
Yeah.
But if he came back 6 months later, you wouldn't be able to take him out and buy him a beer.
Correct.
For his service.
Correct. Yeah, 21. Okay. I had no idea. Wow. Well, don't do that anyway, Max.
My eldest, I said last week, turned 23.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, I was on my way down to work, and he had an errand to run in the La Jolla area. So we decided to go get lunch in the UTC neighborhood.
Separate cars.
Yeah, separate cars.
Got it.
But then we had lunch, and then we went off and did our respective days. And with our trip now just over a month away to Chicago, did a little preview. Went to a place called Chicago Fire Grill, which is just near UTC, kind of off the 805 there. And it was really good. I've been there a couple times, hadn't been there in a few years, but it's, the classic Chicago, the hot dogs, the beef sandwiches, burgers, some gyros, fries. And it's almost, we've gotten to the point. Good customer service is so surprising. It's almost unnerving when it happens.
Yeah.
And we walked in, and I think the owner's name is George, seasoned guy, Greek guy, takes pride in his establishment, makes a bunch of stuff, from scratch and wants you to have a good experience. And he came up to the table just to make sure I gotten one of the hot dogs when I run it through the garden with the tomato and the onion and the pickle and the sport peppers like they do in Chicago. My son got one of his burgers. The fries were good. I said, can I get a side of your tzatziki to dip my fries in? And he came over and he said, yep. Make that all by hand. I make my own yogurt because that's important.
Wow.
To have good tzatziki. You got to use the good cucumbers. You got to use fresh garlic, not the powder.
Wow.
Got to use extra virgin olive oil. And he said, yeah, I'm not going to charge you for it. You want an extra side, you just bring it over. Customers would come in, he'd take bottles of water out of the fridge, just give them to them like on the house. And he just wanted to make sure everyone was, enjoying their meal. And he would come and just touch the table. He talked to me and he said, see our menu, the burger, $12. It's not $12.99. It's not $11.99. Yep. It's $12 because if that's what you think you're going to pay, that's what I want you to pay for your burger. I'm not trying to trick you. I want you to just I want you to get good food for a good price when you come in. And it was so weird because you just rarely see that nowadays when you go out anywhere, that someone actually cares about, the customer service and your customer experience. I want to give George a shout out today for a really good lunch yesterday that we had at Chicago Fire Grill in the UTC area.
I mean, let's be honest with ourselves here. You just like the free water, and I mean, food was probably pretty good.
Food was good, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get any comps on my meal. I didn't even get a water. I actually got an iced tea. I paid for an iced tea. Didn't realize the water was free, but
color me embarrassed.
But it was just cool, and I just wanted to give him a shout out because you don't see that as often anymore. So it's so rare now that I almost started feeling like uncomfortable for a second. Then I stopped myself and I go, wait. This is how the dining out experience is supposed to be. Like someone's trying to take care of you and make sure that you are enjoying yourself and having a good time. It's not just about getting you in, getting you to order as much as possible and pay as much as your check as possible and getting you out as fast as you can so they can turn the table for someone else. And it was just refreshing. And I wanted to shout it out for the good experience.
Well, the missus and I went down. We had a date night Saturday. We went down to North Park. We never really go down there, but that's where the concert was. So we had dinner at a place called the Smoking Goat, and it's French food.
I think we might be going there this weekend.
Dude, strap in. It's
I've heard
unbelievable.
It's amazing. I had some friends, they went on opening night, and I saw the pictures the next morning. I went, yeah, that looks unbelievably good.
We had the French onion soup. That was spectacular. We
got
also
that melted cheesy top.
God,
so good.
Crouton in there, a big, thick, soppy. Oh, God, it was good. Then we had a pear salad, which you look at it and you're like, you eat it. And I told my wife, I go, why don't you make salads like this? She looked at me. You know what she said? She goes, why don't you? And I go, good point.
Touche.
Good point. I really have no excuse. I can't make a good salad. So
is it just like well dressed?
Perfect, dude. It was perfect. It tasted perfect.
Like a pear vinaigrette.
Sliced little pears and blue
usually
cheese.
Gorgonzola. Pear and gorgonzola is the classic salad.
So that was great. So we had that. And then we each had steak frites. And then we had creme brulee at the end. And I had a big glass of Bordeaux.
Great
it was
French
unreal.
meal that you
God, it was unreal. It was so, so good. So yeah, shout out to the Smoking Goat. If you ever get an opportunity to go eat there, do it.
All right.
You're going to love it, Paulie. When are you guys going?
I think we had that on our list of anniversary dinners for this weekend.
It's outstanding.
And we have to still commit to a place, but we had it on our list a couple of weeks ago before I even knew you were going. It looked amazing.
It's unbelievable.
I was looking at the menu and the pear salad specifically stood out to me. I'm very glad you ordered it because it looked really good.
It was elite. It was an elite meal.
I love pear.
And I want to do this more because, and it's not because I want to get free stuff. It's because,
come on.
Hear me out. More. Hold on.
I want to
highlight local restaurants.
Highlight local businesses that we went to and had a good experience at.
I'm sure you do.
Because they deserve it. No, not before the fact. After the fact.
But you'll be like the secret, shop.
I don't think George had any idea who I was. He was doing that with every table. I wasn't getting any different service or treatment than anyone else was. He was going everybody and making sure that everybody at the restaurant was having a good experience at his restaurant.
Very
and
nice.
I was just very impressed by that.
Shout out to George. What's the place called? Chicago Fire.
Chicago Fire Grill. Yeah.
And then shout
UTC.
out to the Smoking Goat. Delicious. Oh, the only problem was I'm a big guy. I'm 6'1", 225.
Mm-hmm.
My wife and I, they put us at the top, and it was narrow. So when I ate because we wanted to share French onion dip, right? Or French onion soup. And there's shared soup before. That was my first time. I didn't enjoy it all that much.
Soup.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it that much.
Do you put it in the middle and reach, or do you pass it back and forth?
Problem is the table is the size of my portfolio here. Tiny, right? Size of a legal pad.
A real French cafe table.
Correct.
Very small.
So there was a candle. There was all the salt, pepper, everything.
Now there's no room.
So there was my water, my wine glass, my wife's margarita, and very fresh.
French cocktail.
Ben, trust me, we had the full combo before I go. She goes, "Ooh, I'm gonna get a margarita." I go, "You're going to a French restaurant," and she's like, "I don't care. I'll drink what I drink." I go, "All right, fine.
All right,
we'll do whatever you want." But at one point, I had the candle I was holding the candle off the table so that I could reach over and eat the soup. This is my only beef is that the table, you can't put a big guy at a 2-top.
I always feel bad because I go in with, like my son, we're both big.
Yeah.
I want to sit at a 4-top.
All day long. If you're at one of those, you're like, should we just go? Let's just go.
Then you realize you're also taking up 2 extra chairs if another table comes in and they need those.
I know.
Like, I don't want to inconvenience the restaurant by taking up too much spot.
But when I have
a 2-top is too small for me and my son.
When I have to hold the candle up with my left hand, reach over, take a bite of soup, put the candle down, move my wine glass to the edge. It was tiny, but that's really how it's done. You're true. You're right. It's authentic.
Part of me says, Hannah, order whatever you want. The other part of me is French people are especially judgmental about
but these
food.
are from North Park. These guys, they're not from France.
Margarita. I guess if they really care, they wouldn't put it on the menu.
That's true.
We don't have margarita.
Benny, I had Bordeaux, which is a French red, and it was God, it was good. Whew. I drank more this weekend than I have in like a year, which is probably why I sound like this today. So there you go. It was rough. Not anymore.
Red wine and then Makers and water.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Oof.
Glad you made it here.
Yeah, me too.
Tuesday morning.
Yesterday's drive home was a little rough.
All right, we've got a lot to get to. Jesse Agler is going to join us coming up at the bottom of the hour. But up next, our first game of the week. And since we had no Monday, we just have the 3 categories: music, movies, TV, and they will be eliminated as they're chosen. So if you want the full complement of choices for Take on Woods, play today. Call in now, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. We'll play our game, give you a chance to qualify for the grand prize $500 gift card to the Westgate Las Vegas. Coming up in our next segment, this hour on 97.3 The Fan is brought to you by GL Pools, the swimming pool experts trusted by thousands of San Diegans since 2006. Baseball is back, so is swim season. Make sure your pool is ready. Call now, mention radio for a free month of pool service. Back with Take on Woods next on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, let me tell you about SDFatLoss.com. How is it that I can go eat a Chicago hot dog for lunch? It's because I've been taught by SDFatLoss.com how to eat. I've managed my portion sizes much better. The times of day that I eat have made a huge difference. All the coaching that I got during my 2-month weight loss phase has carried over to my maintenance phase for the last 3 years. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. You can lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in just 2 months. And then you can expect to keep it off because they will help you keep it off. It's different than just going with the GLP-1 injections. You might lose some weight. It's probably going to be a lot of muscle. Your metabolism is going to go down. It's going to be much harder to keep the weight off. But with SDFatLoss.com, you can lose weight, still eat some things you like. It's based on real foods, not shakes or bars. So I ate a lot of chicken, a lot of steak and vegetables when I was losing the weight. And you don't have to exercise to lose the weight either, although you might want to when it's done like I did. Able to get on my Peloton now many times a week. I could not do that before the weight loss. Right now, take advantage of their spring special, $200 off. If you sign up now for a free consultation at SDFatLoss.com, lose the weight before it really gets hot in San Diego in August by signing up today at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Before we get to our game, a quick little college baseball update. Had some close but no cigar results over the weekend. SDSU baseball got to the final game of the Mountain West tournament, one game away from the NCAA tournament, lost to Washington State. In the last game, UCSD also got to the final game of the Big West tourney, came one game short of their first ever trip to the NCAA Division I college baseball tournament, but PLNU is on to the Division II College World Series in North Carolina. They beat Northwest Nazarene 5-3 in their final game of the Super Regional. So this week, I think Friday is their first game. This weekend in Cary, North Carolina, they're the 6th seed, 8 teams remaining as they vie for a national championship. Third time Coach Justin James and his squad have gotten to the Division II College World Series in the last 5 years.
Saw you were out there on Friday?
I went out last week. What a beautiful spot that is.
I got to play one
Carroll
game there.
B. Land Stadium. The baseball field at the end of the earth.
Oh, my God. It's like the greatest place to play a game. I only got to do it once, and I thought, oh, this will be great. We're coming back here every year. And, in fact, we went out to play. This is the worst. Both teams showed up to play a championship game there, okay? And we get out. My dad's in town. My dad's with me. We go all the way out to Point Loma. We unload the car. We walk up to the front, and we're locked out. And we're making phone calls. The guy's like, yeah, sorry, nobody actually put the reservation in or whatever. So we had to go to another field. We had to find another field for the championship game. When you're driving out there feeling excited for playing in that ballpark, and then you end up at West Hills. Nothing wrong with West Hills, certainly, as far as adult league ball fields go, but it's a bit of a step back.
You're not going to accidentally come across Land Stadium. You got to go deep into Point Loma.
You do.
And then all the way through PLNU's campus to get to the very edge, the cliffs. And home plate is oriented facing out to the northwest. So everything from like the left field line to right center field, when you're looking out, it's the Pacific Ocean.
Stunning.
It looks like you're actually like hitting the ball like into McCovey Cove, but into the Pacific. There's a cliff. You can't actually get the ball to the water, but you can certainly see it. It is by far the most picturesque college ballpark you're going to find anywhere.
It's so good.
It's pretty amazing.
So good.
Oh, Paulie's got a picture of it in the stream.
It's just, it looks fake.
It looks fake. It is absolutely real. I did my stand-up way out there kind of in deep left center where the field where there's no fencing. It's just the chain link so you could see through to the ocean and the waves. Absolutely incredible baseball field there at Point Loma Nazarene.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right, we got a contestant on the line. Let's get to our first game of the week. It is time to take on Woods. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarms. Security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. And it looks like we got Patrick today. Patrick, you there?
Good morning, Benjamin.
Good morning, Patrick. All right, new week, brand new categories. And since it's only a 4-day week and we have a real or fake on Thursday, you just have the 3 normal categories to choose from. Once they're gone, they're gone. So you're the only one who gets to choose from all 3. In music, we have one thing, two thing. It is all 2-second songs, including the word thing in the title. Movies is called In the Theater, 5 movies whose titles begin with the letters I-N. Or TV, we've got straight A's, 5 television shows that are one-word titles beginning with the letter A. So would you like to play music, one thing, two thing, movies, In the Theater, or TV, straight A's?
Let's do movies.
Movies. All right. In the Theater is the category today. Again, we are looking for 5 movies whose titles begin with the letters I-N. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, you can say pass. We'll come back to it if there's time left on the clock. The first questions are 2-second movie clip. Paulie will play a short clip. You need to identify the movie based on that clip. We'll compare your score to Woods. If you beat or tie him, we'll put you into the grand prize drawing for the $500 gift card to the Westgate Las Vegas, home of legendary Vegas fun. And right now, their breakaway from fees package includes a $75 daily dining credit, 2-day spa passes, daily cabaret tickets, complimentary valet parking, and no resort fees with special rates starting at $89 a night at WestgateLasVegas.com. All right, Patrick, you ready to play?
Ready.
All right, movies is the category. Again, the In the Theater. Everything starts with I-N. 60 seconds on the clock. Your time begins when Paulie plays our movie clip. Good luck, Patrick. Let's take on Woods.
Don't let me leave, Murph. Pass.
Robert Redford offers $1 million for a night with Demi Moore, and husband Woody Harrelson can't handle it. In which 1993 movie?
Indecent Proposal.
Correct. Which 2009 Quentin Tarantino masterpiece follows Jewish soldiers attempting to assassinate Nazi?
Inglourious Basterds.
Correct. Which 2010 film sees Leonardo DiCaprio dropping deeper and deeper into dreams in one of the most?
Inception.
Correct. Which animated 2015 Pixar hit features the voice of Amy Poehler as Joy? One of the
Inside
emotions.
Out.
Correct. Go back to our 2-second clip.
Don't let me leave, Murph. Oh, what is that? Can you play it one more time? Don't let me leave, Murph.
Got 10 seconds.
Is that Interstellar?
It is. It is Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar, and you have gotten all 5 right on In the Theater. Congratulations,
I don't
Patrick.
think Woods is going to get all 5.
I don't think so either. We'll see, but it doesn't matter. You qualified. Just stay on the line. Paulie will get your information. Woods, we got a movies category for you. See if you can figure out what it's all about. Let's put 60 seconds back on the clock.
Do you feel better knowing at some point you will get the music category each week now?
Yeah, but yes, I do. But I got bodied in music last week.
You did.
So
And you only get one a week now.
That's right.
So that's all. All right. 60 seconds on the clock. Time begins when Paul plays our clip. Good luck, Woods. Let's take on Patrick.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
Oh, God. I'll come back to it.
Robert Redford offers $1 million for a night with Demi Moore and husband.
Indecent Proposal.
Correct. Which 2009 Quentin Tarantino masterpiece follows Jewish soldiers attempting to assassinate Nazi leadership?
That is called Inglourious Basterds.
Correct. Which 2010 film sees Leonardo DiCaprio dropping deeper and deeper into dreams? And
Inception.
Correct. Which animated 2015 Pixar hit features the voice of Amy Poehler as Joy, one of the emotions at the heart of a young girl named Riley?
Pass.
Back to our 2-second clip.
Don't let me leave, Murph.
Something with an I. I bet the name of the category is The Eyes Have It. That's my guess. Is that right?
No.
Oh, all right.
But close, though.
I'm out.
No, either
I'm
of them?
Neither.
That was Matthew McConaughey telling his daughter, Don't let me leave, Murph, in Interstellar. And
so
the
good.
Pixar hit is Inside Out. It was in the theater. IN was the start of every title, which means 5-3. Patrick.
Oh, you got them all 5?
Got all 5 of them.
Jesus.
Takes it today and is qualified.
Those are 5 fantastic movies, by the way.
Good movies.
Interstellar, one of my all-time favorite movies I've ever seen. Indecent Proposal, great.
Fantastic.
Inglourious Bastards, my favorite of the Quentin Tarantino movies by far. Inception, Christopher Nolan, amazing. And I haven't finished Inside Out. This came out like 10, 11 years ago.
It's a good Pixar movie.
I heard it was one of the best Pixar movies they've ever made, and I just never got around to it.
2 Christopher Nolan movies in there, in Interstellar and Inception.
He's pretty good.
Oh, he did Interstellar as well.
Yeah, he did both of those. So, that was a pretty good 5-some. And congratulations to Patrick, who qualifies for the trip to the Westgate Las Vegas, the $500 gift card.
That's what we
All
like.
right, so now we've just got music and TV left for Wednesday and Friday, and we'll play Real or Fake on Thursday. All right, let's take a time out. When we come back, Jesse Agler going to join us, the voice of the San Diego Padres, usually the voice of reason. We've had to do this a few times in the last couple of weeks with the Padres' struggling office, but we'll get Jesse's take coming up next year with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, every time I go away, I do miss my Eco water. That's true. Every single time I had to buy bottles of water, and I had to pour it in my big Yeti jug here because I left. And, I had enough Eco water to get me out to Palm Desert, but I didn't have enough to sustain me. So I had to fill in, got home, dumped that out, poured the Eco Water SoCal in the jug, and now I'm back to feeling great, like I always do. It's liquid clarity. It is a deep cleanse and soak for your system, sharpens your focus, makes everything else run smoothly. If you're still using the plastic bottles, you got to get rid of them right now. All right. Our bodies are hosting a lot of microplastics as it is. We're constantly taking in more if we're using the single-use plastic. You deserve better. Your family deserves better. Eco Water SoCal brings the soft life right to your kitchen sink with mineral-rich alkaline water, balances your pH, fuels your body with filtered luxury. No plastics, no poison, just satisfaction every time. Call 760-350-3338. 760-350-3338. Or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know that Woodsy from 97.3 The Fan sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925. It's Eco Water SoCal. He just here. I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Not that now.
So let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's gonna hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee
It's going to in a second.
right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Saw this band in concert twice over the weekend.
I did. Oh my God, they sound so good.
You sent a clip from the concert on Sunday night at Happy and Harriet's and said, "Do you recognize this?" And I go,
I did right away.
You did?
I did.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah,
We've been playing it as a bumper music for years.
8 years. It's called Toy Automatic. That one is. This is going to town.
And I said, one of the reasons concerts kind of break my brain, if I hear a song that's not the exact way I know it from the radio, it messes with me.
You just want to go to a concert where the guy's like, "Hey, here we are," and he puts a CD in and he walks off the stage? Or do you want him to stand up there and bob along to it?
Stand up there and bob along. I want it to sound just like it sounds on the radio.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind.
That's how I know it makes no sense. It really doesn't.
It's so good.
That's not how I like it. I play it like I like it.
Oh my God.
Don't mess with it. Don't get extra groovy with it just because it's a live concert.
You're live.
I don't want to hear that.
You're out of extra groovy.
You're out.
This hour on Ben and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. We will talk to the voice of the Padres, Jesse Agler, on an Incorporator Tuesday right after traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
National City to San Diego, stop and go. Northbound on the 805 from before Plaza Boulevard to before Imperial Avenue. Left lane is blocked by a crash. Joey Blasney, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
This traffic report is brought to you by local and veteran-owned Manny Sedano Ford. San Diego, shop local this Memorial Day at Sedano Ford. This veteran dealership is offering Ford employee pricing to everyone. Lease a 2026 F-150 for $478 a month with $1,000 down, or a Maverick XL for only $369. Visit SedanoFord.com for details.
Joined right now by Jesse Agler, and I know personally, I'm sure the 9-game homestand with the day off built in last week has been very nice, but that's coming to an end after tomorrow. East Coast road trip to Washington and Philadelphia. Then you've got Baltimore, St. Louis, and Texas on another long one coming up.
God,
it's a lot of time on the road, so enjoy San Diego while you can, Jesse.
Yeah, I feel like we're about to. It's been kind of a cold season for us on the road so far, and I feel like that's about to switch. We're about to experience some heat and humidity for probably most of the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's and the places that you're going, right? DC, then to St. Louis,
Philadelphia,
Philly,
and then home for a couple, then Baltimore, St. Louis, and Texas.
Jesse, have you? I forget if we asked you this question. When you go to Philly, have you had the actual cheesesteak from the stadium that they make, the special one?
It's it's funny. Everybody talks about it. It's the one in the clubhouse. I know is the one you're talking about.
Yeah, that's the one.
I've had like a bite of it. I've never taken down a full one. But what's so funny about it is like the guys in the clubhouse in Philly, the clubhouse guys, they'll tell you like it's all the same stuff they use in the concession stands. Like they don't order out special meat or bread or cheese. It's just that they make it fresh down there as opposed to, in the concession stands, I imagine it sits around a little bit.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it's very, very good. I actually think the chicken one might be better than the steak one. Yeah, no, they do an awesome job. Those you had them last year,
we
right?
Did, yeah.
Really good, yeah.
We got one smuggled out to us. The three of us stood around in a stairwell. I'm not even kidding when I say this. Our backs to the hall where people could see us, and we just passed around a cheesesteak between the three of us.
Lower tunnel area in the
yeah.
stadium. We were just hidden in this little alcove.
It was
shoving this sandwich down our throats,
licking our fingers.
Can I ask, what exactly were you afraid of? Like you thought some security guard was going to come up to you and be like,
stolen valor,
stolen valor. Number one.
We're not baseball players, and we're clubhouse.
We're not in the, we're not in the media. We are, but we're not. We weren't there in a media capacity per se. And we were just nervous that somebody would walk by like, you guys aren't supposed to have one of those. And God, it was
handed to us like
they would have
drugs.
Known
yes.
It was a clubhouse cheesesteak.
Well, Jesse,
wait a minute. I recognize that foil.
The hurdles that we had to jump over just to get it. And then the guy that walked out looked over both shoulders like, here, take it, go. And we're like, oh my God.
You didn't get this from me.
Yeah, you didn't get this from me. And so we ran away and found a little. Most normal people find a nice table to sit at and split it up evenly with a knife. Not Ben and Woods. It was good. It was good.
The meat on the Padres offense continues to be a little lacking here, Jesse. I know the team is frustrated and looking for answers. We're looking for answers, and it's tough to come up with exactly. You gotta know what's wrong before you can fix it. And it's hard to identify exactly what's wrong. Do you see any commonalities here that the Padres need to work on?
My sense is this is not necessarily a puzzle that can be solved. I mean, it's just one of those things and one of those moments in time. If you watch enough baseball, and we all do, it's just one of those things that happens, and it's not always explainable in sort of an intellectual way. There's just periods of time where weird stuff happens. Sometimes that weird stuff is good. Sometimes that weird stuff is bad. And, it lasts for however long it lasts. And you hope when it's bad that it doesn't last too long. And, right now it's a bad RISP thing. And, sometimes in baseball, a thing becomes a thing, right? And you start thinking about it a little bit too much. And now, okay, it's a thing. And, it sticks for a little while. And eventually something will happen that snaps you out of it. And it cuts both ways. We saw the Padres do some, sort of inexplicably good things early on in the season. And now this kind of feels like an inexplicably bad thing. But, the good news is nothing like this lasts forever, particularly on a team that has, the talent and ability that the Padres have. But, this sort of run here, what are they up to? 2 for 32 on the homestand, something like that?
Something like that,
with runners in scoring position. So, that's not something that's going to last forever. And they'll snap out of it at some point. And I don't think that there's a way to sort of break down why it is the way it is, other than, at some point, I think everybody starts to notice it, and then probably you start to press a little bit maybe, and then that's not a way to get out of it. That's probably a way that it continues to happen. And then, eventually, like I said, somebody comes through with a big hit, and then everybody takes a deep breath and you sort of move on from there. But this is one of those things that happens. Every team goes through it. This sort of seems to be the year of like the streak. The Cubs had the 10-game winning streak. Now they have a 9-game losing streak. It seems like every time you look up and check the standings, somebody or a handful of teams has either lost 8 in a row or won 8 in a row. It's sort of like the way the year is going. And, right now the Padres are in a stretch where they aren't hitting with runners in scoring position. But the good news is they're still finding ways to win, some games. And that's kind of the story of this season, I guess, to this point, is that, the Padres don't make sense. And they're winning games that looks like they probably shouldn't win. And that's why they kind of are where they are and still, as far above 500 as they are.
Talking to our pal Jesse Agler, I agree with you. I always feel weird, especially on the air, even on Twitter, trying to diagnose a pro baseball player's decision, his stance, where his hands are. You know what I mean? Like, I always feel stupid. And my line is like, I feel dumb, and you should too. Out there listening, you should feel dumb if you think you know what's going on with Fernando Tatis Jr., with Manny Machado. It really is a hard thing for fans to swallow, is just be patient and cross your fingers and hope that it turns around. It's a hard pill to swallow. It just is.
It is, but I mean,
what's the alternative?
If breaking down the swing to your buddies or on talk radio or on social media is going to make you feel better, feel free.
Yeah.
But don't take yourself too seriously doing it would be my suggestion.
I got to figure out.
Right. Like, if that's your way of coping, sure. But don't act like you've actually got the answer. Just let's not pretend to be that person. But yeah, if that's going to help you sort of work through it for your own, mental health, then fine. But I don't think you're going to figure it out. No offense. I don't think I'm going to figure it out. I don't think, somebody in the chat's going to figure it out. That's just, none of us have that knowledge. But look, they're all working at it, and that's true of a guy on a last place team who's struggling.
Yeah.
Every one of these guys in the league who's struggling is working like crazy to try and figure it out. As much as it drives us nuts to see somebody struggling, nothing sucks more than sucking on that stage for these guys. It's the worst imaginable feeling you could ever have, because as tough as it is for us to watch a guy go out there and kind of, fail, imagine being the guy where everybody's watching, 40,000 people every night. And you're not coming through in a situation where you want to come through. Most of us can't even imagine that sort of feeling that these guys are going through. So they're doing everything they possibly can. Some of it will end up being productive. Much of it will not, because that's the cruelty of the thing, is that you actually don't know what it is that's going to work to help you get out of it. But they're working, they're going to figure it out. And so, as you said, there really is no other choice for us than to say, all right, well, hopefully at some point, something does click and get it right. But this is where that whole, and I know it's trite at this point, but that whole back of the baseball card conversation comes around, is that, these guys have all had enough success that you really don't have a choice other than to say, all right, well, at some point the talent is going to show up. The mechanics are going to click into place.
The timing,
and things are going to start to turn around. Right. Is that, there's going to be a mental cue, a physical cue that sort of locks back in, and you're like, oh, that's what that feels like again. And, the thing with Manny in particular that we've seen over the years is when he gets right, he stays right.
Yeah.
Longer than almost anybody in this sport.
It's true.
And, that's one of those things that you can really point to and say, okay, that's going to make me feel much better.
And I agree. I mean, we don't know for sure, but we do know that, when guys kind of fall off a cliff late in their career, there's usually metrics you can see. Their swing speed's way down,
Sure.
And we haven't seen any of that. We just see,
not there.
We just see mechanical difficulties, and they've always gotten through them before in their career. Probably going to happen again. We just hope it's sooner rather than later. Talking to Jesse Agler here on Ben and Woods. And Jesse, I think you probably agree. One of the best things about a baseball season are those unexpected, kind of magical feel-good stories. They don't usually last. I mean, I think that the Daniel Camarena grand slam against Max Scherzer, still talking about that years later. Rodolfo Duran, doubt he's going to stick around as an all-star catcher, but what a fun story that's been over the last couple of weeks for the Padres.
No doubt about it. And I mean, any guy that sort of grinded the way he has and has had to be as patient as he has for his opportunity, and, then to get it and to, do the job that he's done is so cool. And, catcher is such a unique conversation, right? Because you almost, especially, for a guy coming up, in a situation that he is, you're really going to put the offense aside. You're going to say, all right, you got to handle this pitching staff. You got to throw some guys out, trying to steal bases if they're going to attempt it. And he's done all of that brilliantly. He's worked so well behind the plate. He's done a great job, ABS, and he's got a cannon. And, he's throwing guys out left and right. Obviously the pitchers clearly enjoy working with him. They've had success working with him. Then he goes out, hits a home run in Seattle. It's been a fun story. And you're right. I mean, these are these little, cult hero kinds of moments, and you never know what they are or are not going to turn into. It could be like the Camarena thing, where it's sort of like that one and done. And we still talk about it years later, or you never know, right? Last year, Gavin Sheets, it was that opening day pinch hit home run, but here we are the next year, and he is a key contributor and, one of the hearts and souls of this team. And I'm not saying that's going to happen necessarily with Rodolfo Duran, but the fact is you don't know what someone is going to turn into. And, that's what's neat about new guys coming in and getting their opportunities because of an injury or because, they've earned that chance based on who knows what. You never know what someone is going to turn into when they're given that opportunity, when they finally get that opportunity. Gavin got that change of scenery. Duran, because of an injury, finally gets the opportunity to step in. That's the beauty of this thing. The old cliche is like, there's no better reality show than Major League Baseball. And it's true. Like the drama that comes with, a guy getting a chance and grabbing that chance and all of us waiting to see what he's going to do with it is really great theater.
Talking to our pal Jesse Agler here on Ben and Woods. He's also known as the Incorporator. Now, here we go. I don't know. We didn't get an update on you on last week's. Now, to be fair, wasn't that the 1-0 Michael King win over the Dodgers?
I think it was.
I believe it was.
I believe.
Did I forget it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
It was
Humgruffin.
It was Humgruffin.
Oh, man, such an easy one, too.
Okay, well, hey, listen, we are a very forgiving show, very soft.
All right, let's double up this week. I'll do Humgruffin and whatever this week.
So that was going to be my idea.
It's a doubleheader.
Can we make him do two? And I wonder, that was such a tense game. I mean, I literally chewed all my nails off. It was great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, all right, I kind of give him a pass for not working Humgruffin in. Even though Max Muncy was right there. He was right there the whole time.
It happens like once a year, maybe.
Once a year.
Like Jesse's 99% of the way there. He'll text me exactly when it was. I'm able to find it the next morning. And then like once a season, I won't get a text. But usually Jesse will remember and go,
oh, I forgot.
My bad. I completely forgot. I'll get you on Wednesday. And
It's
we're like,
okay.
No problem. Never got that text, and I'm certainly not going to bug you and reach out to you and be like, hey, where's the word?
Hey, man, what's your problem? In the middle of it's the ninth inning. You're like, hey, bro, you're forgetting. No, so we're going to have, if you can, double up tonight. Humgruffin.
By the way, that's how crazy that game was.
I know.
It didn't even occur to me that I forgot.
Yeah.
Like, that's how locked
No,
in
we
that
understand.
It was great.
Sure.
It was
But
great.
now you got to do two. You've got Humgruffin and get to our I word as we go through the alphabet. Paulie, if you would.
Interrobang.
Interrobang.
Do you know Interrobang?
Interrobang. Do you know what an interrobang is, Jesse?
I have no idea what an interrobang is.
I just texted it to you. It's a combination of an exclamation point and a question mark. So what's like?
Are you kidding me?
Interrobang.
Are you effing kidding me? Is what I say.
First of all, I am so glad to know that has an actual terminology attached to it.
Interrobang. I think it's so good. Are you effing kidding me?
Interrobang.
Is it it's a noun?
Yeah.
Interrobang.
I use an interrobang 50 times a day. 50
social media posts.
Yeah, social media.
Intero.
How you can possibly work it in verbally, though, into a baseball game?
I know.
Got no idea. Now, you could certainly ask a question with an incredulous tone.
Sure.
But how do you then say interrobang?
Yeah. It's just a combo of two words. Intero from the technical term for a question mark, an interrogation point.
Yeah.
And then bang, which is printer's slang for an exclamation point.
Had no idea about that either.
Bang.
Had no idea. That was awesome.
I love, and one of those things that, we all use, but you figure doesn't have an actual term when you find out there's a word for it. That's one of the great joys of life.
Yeah, for real. I get giddy about it too, knowing that I do it all the time. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Enjoy the doubleheader today with the Incorporated.
H&I.
Yeah, H&I.
You got it.
Hi.
Thanks, buddy.
Humgruffin and interrobang for Jesse Agler. And first pitch is at 6:40. Got our Eco Water SoCal pregame show for you tonight at 5:40. We'll certainly preview the matchup coming up in our final hour. But first, our Monday guest, since we had the holiday yesterday, Dennis Lynn, our Lynn Signer from The Athletic, going to join us. Got injury updates from the Padres and much more coming up in our final hour of Ben and Woods. Don't go away. San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Final hour of Ben and Woods. Got to say that, Incorporator sometimes hits, sometimes it misses. I love that Jesse was so excited about today's word interrobang and that he learned something new. I think we all did. A question mark combined with an exclamation point is called an interrobang.
I love it. That's the show in a nutshell. Just teaching you things, right?
Something like that. Yeah. I mean, if you can learn a little bit while having a good time, that's a great morning.
That's the goal.
Still don't understand baseball, though. I saw the tweet you reposted from our friend Clark.
Yeah.
Farentold said Padres in May, their offense hitting 197 with a 76 weighted runs created plus. 100 would be average. So the Padres are almost 25% worse than an average offense this month. Just dismal. 0 for 22 with runners in scoring position in their last 3 games. May, dismal. They're 12-11 in May somehow.
Crazy.
They have a winning record despite a putrid, horrible offense in the month of May. And somehow they're still treading water and managing to stay afloat. And if they could just get going, I think that's the torturous part for us is you feel like they could just get going a little bit. They could really
rip off something.
Start winning, ripping off some wins. But, right now we just have to keep hoping that they don't go on that long losing streak that we fear. All right.
They're at 2 now.
Are we ready to go out to Dennis?
Yep.
Well, all right, let's give him his intro.
Happy Monday, Padres fans.
Tuesday.
It's time to discuss the weekend that was for the Padres with our Ben and Woods Linsider, Dennis Lynn from The Athletic. Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Hey, player, the rooftop pool's open, day passes are available, and the spa is calling your name. Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
All right, let's check in with Dennis Lynn. And Dennis, you have a lot of smart baseball colleagues at The Athletic. We talk to Eno every week. I know Grant Brisbee, they do their power rankings every week. Levi Weaver, Chad Jennings came out with them today. Padres are still 7th in the MLB power rankings. I mean, that's really, really good. What do you get the sense that your colleagues feel about this San Diego Padres team? Because this is a weird one so far this year, Dennis.
Yeah, first of all, they're a lot smarter than me, especially Eno. But obviously they don't watch this team as much as I do. So I think it's just the general sense of being puzzled, like really, really curious as to why, first of all, Fernando Tatis Jr. hasn't hit a home run all season. But I mean, obviously we all know here in San Diego, that's probably masking some of the issues that the other big stars in the lineup are having. But yeah, they're all just, I think, just curious why the Padres are, 9 games over 500 with the offense that they have. Obviously, the pitching factors into that. But at this point, you have to ask yourself a third of the way into the season, is this like the best bad team in baseball or the worst good team? And I think neither title is what you want. But yeah, I think this is where the Padres are right now.
Dennis, you wrote a piece last week about some sources that you have telling you that the Padres are going to be very active in the reliever market. Now, you look at the bullpen and you say, man, this bullpen looks good. You look at the starting rotation and go, man, we could use some help there. You look at the offense and go, well, we're a couple points away from being alone at the very bottom of almost every offensive category, Dennis. And you wonder, why aren't they calling on bat help or starting pitching help? Now, they still may be, but how come you're looking to bolster the bullpen?
Right. It's kind of a counterintuitive thing, right? If your offense is near the bottom of the barrel and your bullpen is maybe the best in the league, why would you go out and try to bolster that, right? But I think if you're working with some limited resources, especially in terms of prospects, and you're looking at the price of, for example, starting pitching every year at the deadline, that's always sky high. If I guess you're kind of just banking on some of these, offensive guys on your team already to, they have to turn it around. They don't turn it around, you're kind of toast anyway.
Yeah.
So I think it's just, the thinking there would be if they do, end up going after this route, and they're definitely poking around on certain guys, even though it's still pretty early, and some teams might be waiting to see if they're willing to trade or not. Especially like the AL is so bad that some of these teams, even like the Boston Red Sox with Aroldis Chapman, for example, they might be inclined to hold on to him for a while. We'll see. But you just don't have much of a farm system to work with right now outside of Ethan Salas. So I don't see them trading Ethan Salas for a reliever. Never say never with AJ Preller, but I think just the fact that the bullpen's been worked pretty hard, and you can maybe just kind of double down on that strength and make it even better. I think that's the thinking there.
So I don't get it. I don't, and I usually trust AJ on matters like this, Woods, but
it's just an incremental ad, right?
But
so
you have to have leads to protect for the bullpen to really matter. And I get, keeping a deficit of 1 or 2 runs and getting a chance to win has been a successful formula so far, but they need bats. I'm sorry. Even if they don't have the minor leaguers, you got to get creative and find someone who can hit for this team, Dennis, in the second half of the season if they're still in it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, first of all, they need a lot of things, especially not bullpen help, but I guess that's a place they're looking at. But yeah, they need bats. They need starting pitching. They need help in all 3 phases. So I think when you're looking at what you can do with the farm system you have, this is kind of where they're at. But yeah, I think if you're Preller, he's probably looking at getting all 3. Just the fact that he's still looking at getting bullpen help maybe tells you a little bit about some of the concern internally about these high stress innings that a lot of these guys have worked, and maybe part of it too. And I'm partially speculating here is if you kind of stock up the bullpen, maybe you can trade from that bullpen. You give that enough of a surplus you feel comfortable with, because you got Morahone's going to be a free agent. Jason Adams going to be a free agent. Maybe they just kind of reconfigure things at the deadline to get some more control in the bullpen as well.
Yeah, I agree, Dennis. I do sometimes subscribe to the theory of build. If you have a strength, just keep adding to your strength, right? Build your strength as much as you can. You're right, man. The price tag on starting pitchers is ridiculous. And I don't even know if you have, outside of getting rid of Ethan Salas, anybody else that they're interested in. If it would be another young pitcher, which at some point you're going to need some of these guys to come up. But I keep racking my brain, too, for a bat that makes sense for the San Diego Padres, right? Is it Taylor Ward in Baltimore right now, who's now, I know when a player is going to do better. I picked him up on my fantasy team and they immediately go cold. So based on his numbers on my fantasy team, he's ice cold right now, which seems to be a great fit. But I don't know. There's a few names out there that I don't know it would cost you a ton.
Right. And I think part of the calculus is you got to wonder how much money is new ownership willing to take on. They're not approved yet. I think that they will be approved and the sale will be closed by the deadline, August 3rd, by the way. But if you can maybe take on, it sounds crazy to say, but maybe take on another big or bigger contract and not have to give up as much prospect capital, I think that's the route that Preller and the front office prefer to go.
Sounds good to me.
And not have to give up Ethan Salas, or they do have some interesting prospects still. I know we talk about this every year. Like, I just said it a few minutes ago, they don't have much of a farm left, but they have some intriguing young players. And you saw what Preller did last deadline to get Ramon Laureano, and I'm blanking on the name of the first baseman from Baltimore for whatever reason now in Pittsburgh. Ryan O'Hearn traded a bunch of lower level prospects, and that's probably what they're going to do again: trade lower level prospects that aren't quite on the national radar yet. But if you can add some money and not have to give as much prospect capital, I think that would be a route that Preller would want to go. So don't be surprised if you hear names like Byron Buxton come up again. I know he's got a no trade clause. He seems to like it in Minnesota, despite the fact that they're rebuilding and everything. But that's just an example. I'm not saying that's someone they're definitely going after again. But there are names out there that Preller is as creative as anybody that maybe you can add some money and not give as much of a farm.
Talking to Dennis Lin from The Athletic on our SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better. It's possible the Padres could get a trade deadline boost from within in their starting pitching rotation. What are the injury updates you've been getting this weekend on Joe Musgrove, Nick Pivetta, and some of the other guys who are on the IL, Dennis?
Ben, that's a very GM way to talk.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't they always talk about, we got our trade deadline starter here already.
He just came back. He's healthy.
Yeah, he's like a brand new pitcher. It's with Joe. Actually, I talked to Joe yesterday. He's starting some plyo work this week, which is a small step, obviously, but a big step for him because he hasn't really done much since March, since he got shut down with the discomfort in that surgically repaired elbow. It's just it's been it sounds like a bone injury for him, a stress reaction in one of those bones in his elbow. He's just had to give time and space to let heal, and now we'll see, because we went through this in spring training where it looked like he was back on the mound, and then all of a sudden he's not feeling very well, and turns out later he wasn't feeling well all spring going into that appearance, that exhibition appearance he made. So no guarantees there. I think it's going to be a process. He was talking about just looking at the calendar, he's looking at hopefully for him right after the All-Star break, and Nick Pavetta's I think a little further behind that, and we'll see with him too. Elbow injury, you never want to bank on anything. So they're looking at, I think, July to August for both those guys. And I think Herman Marquez is throwing bullpens, getting closer to some live BP. I think they would prefer to keep him on the IL for as long as they can, as they kind of sort out what they have with Griffin Canning and Lucas Giolito. And I know the velocity for Giolito is down through the first couple starts, but right now those are preferable options for them, at least I think in their mind, to Marquez. And yeah, I mean, it's not a lot of certainty, I know, but this is what they're working with, and they got to hope that those two veteran guys in particular, Musgrove and Pivetta, can come back down the stretch and give them a boost, because right now the rotation isn't going outside of Canning yesterday and a couple of 7-inning starts from Randy Vasquez and Michael King. They're not going very deep into games, so that's another factor I think that weighs in with the bullpen, and wanting to maybe reinforce the bullpen down the stretch as well.
Last thing for me, Dennis, we played the audio. You asked Craig Stammen after the game yesterday for his overall evaluation of his offense, and he gave a pretty forthright answer. He says, well, we know we're not good. We're not good. Everybody knows we're not good right now. What did you think about that answer in particular, and where Craig Stammen is kind of going through this offensive struggles for his team, being a manager who's a relief pitcher and not a guy who has an offensive background?
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's something we were all wondering about, like how much influence can a pitching guy have on the offense coming in as a first-time manager. And Steven Souza, as we all know, is a first-time hitting coach, first-time coach for that matter at all. So you wonder if these guys have the sway to really shake things up. And I don't know how much they can shake up at this point, outside of maybe batting Manny Machado fifth. Is that much of a shakeup? Is Jace Bowen going to come up from AAA and be much more than a fourth outfielder? I don't know, but I think at this point you do have to consider, maybe moving Manny down a spot or two, just giving a different look, because they've tried pretty much everything else at this point. Yeah. And I don't think, I'm not sure that they have the capital, even though it's Preller, to swing a trade for a big bat at a deadline. They just have to hope that, these guys, as they all say, the back of the baseball cards, those are going to show up eventually, but they've been saying the word eventually, I feel like, for the entire season. So at some point you are who you are, and I think they're just going to have to lean on the pitching to get them to the playoffs again. And that's not a great spot to be, but they could be in a worse spot right now. They're 9 games above 500, and the team they're playing also has a pretty unproductive offense. And they're sitting at 500. You just kind of look at a guy like Kyle Schwarber and Bryce Harper, and when it comes to October, those are the guys who are going to carry the mail for you. And the Padres don't seem to have someone like that right now.
Dennis, appreciate your time. As always, we will talk to you again on Monday. Have a good week.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate it.
Dennis Lynn from The Athletic, our Lynn Signer, brought to you every week by Hamul Casino, and usually on Mondays. Appreciate Dennis checking in on Tuesday after the holiday yesterday. This is a wild thought I had during the interview. As Dennis was saying, the price of starting pitching is going to be astronomical at the trade deadline. You're not going to win big unless you take a risk, a gamble, I would think, if you're the San Diego Padres.
Well, you want to trade Michael King and Randy Vasquez now.
Not both, but
one.
What if you considered, if you think you're going to get Musgrove and Pivetta back, you trade. Michael King can opt out and be a free agent at the end of the year. If the price tag is truly huge and you can get a big bat and a reliever, And you just gamble that, Musgrove and Pivetta come back and pitch like they can. And if they don't, well, you probably weren't doing anything anyway. But is that the way to maximize what you've got? You don't have enough in the minors, as Dennis said, to really pick up anything of note. But you do have some arms in the majors.
The old buy-sell.
You'd be putting yourself, obviously, a couple of injuries, you could be tanking the end of the season. But if you're not going to make it all the way, what does it really matter? Is that potentially a path forward for A.J. Preller at the trade deadline?
I think it's obviously a path, certainly. I don't know that it's the right path because I think with new ownership, looking at extending Michael King is something you would want to do, right? We all in agreement here in the audience as well. We'd like Michael King to stay a Padre.
Oh, yeah.
Now, it doesn't have to be a 25-year deal at $70 million per. But you know what I'm saying. I think he's a guy.
Trading him doesn't mean you can't sign him in the offseason again and extend him. I mean, he loves Ruben Diablo. He might want to come right back, and you just offering him somewhere for a couple of months to reload what you've got. If you don't have any other options, I'm just throwing out something crazy that I just thought of during that interview. Probably too crazy to consider, but Padres rarely do that thing where they trade the guy who's about to be a free agent.
Correct.
They've held on to a lot of them.
Yeah.
Dylan Cease, heading to the IL now with the Toronto Blue Jays. I think it's just a hamstring, not an arm, but those are always risky moves when you hold on to guys.
Yeah, but you held on to a guy like Dylan Cease who pitched for you like in the playoffs. You were hoping that he would pitch for you. It's when you don't even make the playoffs, you're hoping to,
scratch in.
We're going to stay buyers, or we're at least not going to become sellers because we're going to stay in this thing. And then when you don't make it, then when the player walks, you're like, maybe we should have just moved him and got something for him.
Will this be the first time he's been on the IL?
Dylan? Might be.
I don't think I feel like he's.
Yeah.
Am I insane? I feel like he makes every start every year. But yeah, like you said, it's probably just a hammy. Yeah, Benny, I don't know what you do.
I think the intriguing one is the one that was kicked around late last week where John Heyman was talking about Tarek Skubal. Now, we all assumed prior to the injury, he's got Dodger written all over him. And maybe he still does. But with the Tigers losing so much, more than they had probably anticipated, they're looking at becoming sellers. Like, what does any team have the chance to go out and get? For the long-term deal, any team can go out and trade for him for a rental. They expect him to be back at mid to late August, early September. Who's going to take the chance on a Tarek Skubal to come back and pitch for you in September?
LA, and they have the prospect capital to get it done.
So does San Diego.
If you include Ethan Salas,
they have the number
for
one
a month
for a
of Tarek Skubal.
I don't even consider Tarek Skubal unless the Padres offense gets going. I don't want to mortgage the future for a guy who is also going to keep our deficits close while the offense doesn't score. If the offense starts scoring and you go, wow, we've got something here, Tarek Skubal could be the difference between winning a World Series and not, then you have to consider it.
That's what I'm
But if you're continuing to score 0-1, your offense is doing nothing, you're at the bottom of the league, Tarek Skubal doesn't fix that problem. Not at all. You've got pitchers who are keeping you in games right now. You just have the most expensive and most, costly when it comes to prospect pitcher to do that. The same thing you're already getting from Griffin Canning. Did it yesterday. I'm not wasting a lot on Tarek Skubal.
I don't know that I would say it's the same thing as what you're
the offense gets going.
Canning.
Yeah, all right. Maybe you would have been down 1-0 instead of 3-0 when he left the game. Tarek Skubal's not perfect. He's really, really, really good. But if you're not scoring, he can't make a difference. You need to be able to score some runs first.
Yeah, the thing is too is like where Casty right now, I mean, I love the big home runs. They just the OPS is way, way bad. It's all bad right now.
Be honest, the Phillies, when they're looking at Casty going up against him, they're all thinking, boy, glad we got rid of him. I know we're paying him a ton of money, but he'd just be an anchor on our roster right now. Padres, we're okay because he's had those big home runs, but the numbers overall are horrible. They're horrible.
It's like I said earlier in the show. It feels stupid to single out anybody right now. One player. Like you're going to be like, Cassie's just not coming around. Like nobody is performing. Not a single player offensively.
I'm not blaming Nick Castellanos for the Padres' offensive struggles.
League minimum Nick Castellanos?
He is definitely not the guy that is in the crosshairs. But, overall, the Phillies are going, yep, that's why we let him go. Just the offensive numbers aren't consistent enough. And they haven't been.
He's pretty much giving you what $1 million gives you these days.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the veteran minimum. You know what I mean? Like, this is about what I expected out of Castellanos. But, if anybody thought the season hinges on whether or not Castellanos has a good year, like,
you were screwed anyway.
Yeah. At some point, you're going to have to consider, is Jace Bowen a better better chance of an opportunity than a veteran who's not producing? I don't know if you're there yet, but, at some point you do consider that.
Like, I feel better about Castellanos than I felt about all of the other random
last couple
one-offs that we've had for outfielders, whether it was Jason Hayward or Gurriel or whoever else we've had over the last couple of seasons. Feel better about Casty, but not great.
All right, when we come back, got a good pitching matchup, interesting one tonight. Hopefully the Padres can take advantage. It would look like it's in their favor. We've seen the reality not always equal that. And we're going to give away the first 4-pack of tickets to the San Diego County Fair. That's right around the corner. All coming up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. First, though, I'll tell you again about SDFatLoss.com. It's a weight loss program that is based on real foods, not prepackaged meals, no shakes or bars to buy. You're simply eating stuff from the grocery store like you normally do. Chicken, cook up a little steak and vegetables, and you can lose up to a pound of fat per day and 10 to 20% of your body weight in 60 days. I went through the program 3 summers ago. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and I have kept all that weight off for 3 years because it really did change how I felt about food. I eat much less today than I used to. I still get to enjoy some things that I always liked, but it's just not the same. They help me so much, and they can help you as well. If you're trying to lose weight, if you've done other programs, they didn't work for you, give SDFatLoss.com a try. They've got great counselors, a great support system, helps you be successful. You don't have to exercise to lose the weight. That is a nice plus. You can just follow the plan, and you should be losing the weight fairly quickly. Set up a free consultation by going to SDFatLoss.com. And right now, during their spring special, still the spring, during the May gray, the June gloom, when you're probably not caring that much about the beach anyway, you can lose the weight and get $200 off right now. And then when it gets warm and sunny in San Diego, you can have a new body that you can enjoy during swim season, all with SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? This spa with this. Ah. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open. Hey player, this is all yours. This room with this view.
Ben Woods broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios. We know how. Game 2 of the series against the Phillies. Padres facing another tough pitcher, but one who has not had a ton of success this season in Aaron Nola. His ERA, very un-Nola-like, 6.04 with a 1.56 whip. Of course, that was against other teams. He's now facing the San Diego Padres offense today.
He woke up this morning.
Is he salivating right now?
Yeah. Time to get right.
His last 3 starts, 4 2/3, 3 runs against the Rockies, 3 2/3, 6 runs against the Pirates, 5 innings, 4 runs against the Reds. I mean, and that's basically 6, 5, 3, 3. I mean, 3, 3. He's had like 2 good starts all year long. It's been a struggle for Aaron Nola, but he's been very good against the Padres in his career with like a 2.5.
He has, man. Yeah, he's been very, very good. I believe he's been pretty good at Petco Park as well. But no, look, it's Aaron Nola. He's still got really, really good stuff. And you're going to have to find a way, as a struggling offense, to find a way to scratch out some runs off of him, Ben.
Randy Vasquez, meanwhile, for the Padres, 5-2, under 3 ERA. Didn't have a great outing last time against the Dodgers, but it is the Dodgers. 4 1/3, 6 hits, 3 runs. The last two before that, though, were both excellent. 6 shutout innings and 5 innings and 1 run against the Seattle Mariners and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well,
so they need Randy to be what he has been for most of the season tonight.
We all watched that last start, and I'm telling you, what did he give up against the Dodgers?
Three
right.
runs and 4 1/3.
3 expected runs giving up, which is a stat I just made up. 9 that game where he was throwing the ball as loud as those outs were. I mean, they were hitting.
Yeah, didn't strike anybody out for the first time all season. Walked 3, gave up 6 hits. So 9 base runners in 4+ innings.
Hopefully he's right.
Probably could have been much worse.
Yep.
So yeah, hopefully he can bounce back and the Padres can win the game and have a chance to win the series tomorrow. But even if they don't, one reason the Padres are 9 games above 500. Big reason why is they have found a way not to get swept in any series this season. Probably not going to last forever, but they've swept 2 or 3 series on their own. Just think about the math-wise. You sweep a series, you increase 3 games above 500. You lose 2 of 3, you only lose 1 game below 500. So you do that a few times over the course of a couple of months, and you climb to 9 games above 500 without really doing anything spectacularly, just finding a way to at least win 1 game of a series and give yourself a chance to win a bunch of series. And the Padres have done that. They've won a lot of, third games of series, whether it's to win the series or to avoid getting swept. They've won, these second games. They've given themselves a chance. They lose today. You got to face tomorrow. Christopher Sanchez tomorrow against Walker Buehler, who to me has been the roughest of the Padres starters at the back of the rotation. Sanchez has not given up a run, I believe, in the month of May.
Yeah, the whole
month.
Are
big underdogs tomorrow. So today, you want to keep that not sweep streak going.
Yep.
Today, very important for the San Diego Padres.
Huge. Sanchez has been outstanding for them, as we knew he would be, Benjamin. But
nasty changeup.
He's nasty, dude.
Nasty changeup.
I'm shivering thinking about it right now.
Paul is going to give us a roundel report in our final segment. First, though, let's give away some tickets to the San Diego County Fair at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, returning June 10th through July 5th. Right now, call for a 4-pack of tickets. Be the 5th caller at 833-288-0973. 5th caller, 833-288-0973. You get details at sdfair.com on the theme and all the food that's available and
I love
the rides and the animals.
Love it.
It is a fun time.
I can't wait.
San Diego. It's classic. It's iconic. Are we giving those away all week, Paulie?
Yes, I believe all 3 shows all week long.
Nice. All right. Get ready for fair season by calling in now. We'll come back with our roundel report. Wrap things up next with Bennett Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 000-466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
7 Mile Casino is kind of like a fair for card players. You go in, fun atmosphere, excitement. You sit down at one of the tables, you get that feeling. It's better than playing a boardwalk game because you know the odds.
Trying to get the little rings on a little bottle.
Try Texas Hold'em poker instead. Get that same rush, but you actually have a chance to win, maybe.
Oh my God, there's not one fair game that I'm good at. I feel like I'm a pretty good blackjack player. I'm an okay poker player. I'm not good at any of those midway games. None of them. I can't knock the dolls down. Can never make a basket.
Can you explode the balloon with a dart?
No,
it always misses.
I'm terrible.
They're really
terrible at all of it.
Really
but
tough games.
I'd rather take my chances at 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes from Petco Park. You can get really good food there.
Yeah, it's not
higher quality.
It's not all deep fried.
It's not deep fried. It's higher quality food.
You're going to get some great pizzas at Sammy's.
Yep.
You got great salads and the 24/7 players menu with the Kung Pao chicken. Out of this world. You can enjoy it out on their patio overlooking San Diego Bay or in the bar with the TVs, full service there, and take 35% off if you're a player at the tables when ordering food at Sammy's. So many reasons to go to 7 Mile Casino. It's just 7 minutes from downtown.
Here, I'll show you a little. Just a little.
Please don't.
Just a little bit. What hurts on you?
Nothing at all.
A little bit.
Nothing. Now,
so let's say
whatever you're about to touch is the only thing.
Let's say
it's going to hurt.
Right?
All right, yeah.
Okay.
Pretend your knee hurts.
Pretend your knee hurts.
It's going to in a second.
Right here.
That is not pleasant.
Hey, player, this is all yours. This room with this view. This speakeasy with this cocktail. Hey, could you make that too? The spa with this. And this pool on this roof. This is all for you. The all-new Hamul Casino Resort, now open.
Men and Woods brought to you by David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys, helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. Since 2010, visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Tomorrow, already a Big League Wednesday. I have Brett Boone joining us, and we'll have some day baseball tomorrow to wrap up the homestand. Padres and Phillies, 1:10 start. And then a day off on Thursday. We will have our Epic Wings, Epic Padres roundtable on Thursday morning, hopefully after a win or two. To wrap up this homestand. Still have a winning homestand if they take the last two.
Well, I mean, are we may be getting off early, huh?
Not tomorrow.
No. Right now.
Next week, though, I think there's an early one.
Look at us.
All right, let's check traffic one more time, and then Paulie's got some round report headlines to take us home on a Tuesday.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com.
Still tough in Chula Vista on the northbound 125 stop and go from H Street up to the 54 because of a crash. I'm Claire Beverly, Odyssey San Diego traffic.
Traffic brought to you by Albertsons, Vons, and Pavilions. Save on grilling favorites when you shop at Vons or Albertsons. This week, get Johnsonville sausage 19 ounces or Oscar Mayer beef franks 15 ounces for $2.99 each, limit 4, and sweet bicolor corn is 5 for $1, limit 10 with digital coupons on Vons or Albertsons.com.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul. All right.
Two stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And one story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report.
Hey, Paul, how you doing?
Okay, how are you?
On 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a yeah? Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh, and congratulations to Spencer, who won the San Diego Fair tickets. You have more to give away tomorrow.
See you out there.
Congratulations. Buddy. All right, we will get started in the NBA. We talked a little bit about some of the NBA during Don't Do This, and Kenny Atkinson, head coach of the Cavs, saying, I know we got swept, but we analytically won 2 of the first 3.
Expected.
Attitude reflect leadership, Captain. One of my favorite lines from Remember the Titans.
Yeah.
That's true, because I was also scrolling around. I saw James Harden went up to the podium after the game after the Cavs lost, and he said pretty much the same thing as Kenny Atkinson. He said the question was something like, hey, now that the series is over, how much better, if at all, are the Knicks than your Cavaliers? And he basically goes, I don't really know how to answer that, because I genuinely believe we're the better team. We just didn't show it series-wise.
Right.
And I go, they've all been brainwashed.
Yeah.
Kenny Atkinson.
You guys actually played great. We actually won.
Let's pop some champagne.
Yeah, we won.
It was insane. Spurs and Thunder in the Western Conference. They go tonight in the NBA. Game 5. That series is tied 2-2. Shifts back to Oklahoma City tonight. 5:30 tip-off on NBC and Peacock.
Any hot tips from Benny the Greek?
No, not really.
Okay, all right, good. That's what people tune in for.
I think the Spurs are the better team, at least in this matchup.
I thought
overall,
you said,
but tough to win on the road.
I thought you said like 2 weeks ago, no one's beaten SGA in the whoever he plays.
Yeah, but Wemby's really good. I mean,
he's really good.
Wemby is really, really good.
Yeah,
feels like he can go off for that crazy 37, 15, 9 block game at any point now, which is hard to beat.
Well, it's now a best of 3 in the Western Conference, and awaiting the winner of that series is the New York Knicks. Talked about it earlier.
What time's the game tonight?
5:30.
5:30. Padres are on 6:40.
6:40. You can catch a little bit of the first half if you want.
I want to. I'm going to watch some.
Now, the Knicks, they are on one of the greatest playoff runs in sports and NBA history, and yet people are still, the winner's probably coming out of the West. But at some point, you have to give the Knicks credit. Their point differential is like the largest in NBA history. They've averaged in their 11 straight playoff wins, they've won by like 19.7 points per game. They have absolutely destroyed every single game that they've played.
I mean, Karl Anthony Towns is at like playing the best he's ever played right now.
Now,
Brunson, they're good.
I wanted to highlight something. We've talked about these stories in the past, usually in a don't do this fashion, and it hits a little bit differently when it happens to you or somebody you know.
Oh, this
happened to my buddy. So I have a friend. He was born in New York. He is a huge lifelong Knicks fan. It's been almost 30 years since they have gone to the finals, and he actually lives abroad, but he just happens to be in the States and in New York during the NBA finals. So he was looking ahead, and he goes, this was before Game 4 had even been played. The Knicks were up 3-0, but they had not clinched a spot yet. He went on to Vivid Seats, and he bought 2 tickets in the 200 level for Madison Square Garden. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. He's going. Until the game ended last night.
What did he pay for those tickets?
He told me for 2 tickets, he paid a little under $6,000. So with fees and everything, it was about, I think it was like $1,700 per seat for club level, 200 level seats at the Garden.
That's nuts.
The game ended last night.
Yep.
I was watching. Knicks won by 37. This game was over at halftime. When the game ended, tickets started skyrocketing. I looked this morning on the secondhand market. You can't even buy the courtside seats where like Timmy Chalamet will be with everybody else. But the closest that you could buy, it's like technically the third row of the courtside seats. They're going for over $180,000 a pop right now.
But your buddy's fine because he bought them.
Correct.
He bought them before the game ended.
He bought them on Vivid Seats.
Game 3 of the finals.
Money left his bank account.
They took the money.
Confirmation email and everything.
Got it.
Then overnight, I woke up to a text because he found out he got an email from Vivid Seats. They canceled his order, claimed that the bank wouldn't process it, even though the money had already left his account. All the tickets, he got in before the tickets all started surging throughout the entire arena.
Yeah, they said nope.
And they canceled his tickets and said, we're going to refund your money.
That's
don't worry.
Trash.
He called them. He's like, I was on the phone with them for hours trying to figure this out, and they kept giving me this runaround. Oh, it's nothing we did. This was all. He goes, no, I hear you, but I don't believe you.
Right, you're
lying to me. Somebody saw that they could get 3 times the amount that they sold them for,
and they canceled
the order.
They do this on eBay. I've seen it. It's never happened to me yet, but they've done this on eBay with baseball cards.
Oh yeah,
right. There's a prospect that you like, and you're in on him. This guy's got this card listed for $8. This is crazy because this card I've seen it for $70. You go in, you buy the $8 card. A couple hours later, you get the DM, hey, lost it. It's actually not for sale anymore. I lost it. I don't know where it is. And because the guy why would he sell it for $8 when he can cancel that order and sell it for $70? That sucks.
Yeah.
Dude.
So my boy was in the 200 level. Those seats are going, he paid under $6 for 2.
Yeah.
They're going for $5.5 to 10 each now.
Trash move,
so he
dude.
got them for like half off what they are now.
That's trash.
By the way, we still have over like a week before the NBA finals even happen, or 2 weeks before that game would even happen. And so tickets are just going to be through the roof. New York is going insane. I called my buddy this morning. I wanted to get the update. He ended up getting the full refund from Vivid.
Yep.
Then he went to a different website, paid for 2 more tickets at that now new face value. He got 2 more tickets. He paid less than $1,000 more than he originally paid, which sounds okay.
Oh, but
he's in the nosebleeds, like in the last row, instead of the 200 level suite level.
It drives me crazy, man.
I felt so bad for him. But ultimately, he'll be there.
I'm sure there are technical difficulties happen, but it seems like the answer is simple. If he locked in a price, they should still have to honor that price.
He has a confirmation email from them for the price, the tickets, and everything, and it's total BS what happened.
This is crazy. In the chat, it says happened to my buddies and me happened to my buddies for their Airbnb this weekend in Vegas. Airbnb realized it was a holiday weekend and canceled on them. If you lock it in and you hit submit and you take my money, that is a contract, my friend. We are locked in.
Yep.
You missed out on a couple grand. That's your fault. That's not my fault. That sucks, dude.
Yeah,
that sucks. But he's going.
He is going.
He's sitting way higher, and he paid about $1,000 more.
I mean, the excitement in New York is insane.
Oh man,
the Knicks right now.
It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it will be. It should be entertaining.
And ratings will be pretty good too with the Knicks in there and Madison Square Garden, and obviously there's going to be a star, either SGA or Wemby on the other side.
Yep.
So pretty good
Should
finals
be a good
coming
finals.
up. Yeah.
All right, we'll move on. Bryce Harper is next up on the Rondo Report. He's an interesting cat.
Also could have been in Don't Do This today for this.
Also could have been. I think he needs to go to jail for his most recent hijinks here. Bryce Harper's one of those guys. I kind of view him in the same light of like an Aaron Rodgers. Hasn't done anything like illegal. He's not a bad person. He's just kind of out there.
He's not Brett Favre or anything. He's not stealing money from charities.
He's a great athlete, like been around in the spotlight for a long time now. But he's kind of out there. He's just a little bit weird. And Bryce Harper has been showing some of these oddities on his TikTok over the last couple of seasons now.
And had he not, we would have never known.
What was the first one that kind of alerted all of us? It was like the milk or the lack of milk.
Yeah, raw milk.
He drinks raw milk every day. He posted a video on his TikTok of him getting ready in the morning.
Well, he did the bloodletting thing too, where they took out all his blood and replaced it with other blood.
Yeah.
He's like, look at me. I mean, he's just wild. He lays in some weird light. I mean, I don't know. He's an out there cat.
So I'm showing this video on our YouTube stream if you're watching, but if you're not, it's just the camera set up on his vanity of his bathroom at the hotel, wherever the Phillies are staying downtown right now. And he's getting ready to brush his teeth. He does is he's working the tube. You know, push the toothpaste from the bottom up to the tube. He puts the tube of toothpaste with both hands directly into his mouth,
squeezes
like a Go-Gurt or something, and he squeezes some of the toothpaste into his mouth. Puts the cap back on. The toothbrush is still just sitting in his hand. Wets the toothbrush, and then puts the toothbrush in his mouth to begin brushing his teeth.
All right, let me not judge here. I'm going to try not to judge here. Is Bryce Harper actually doing it the right way?
No.
And we've all been doing it the wrong way.
That's unsanitary. I mean,
but
unless he's not touching. Yeah, you don't want your bacteria growing on
your toothpaste
tube.
What about your toothbrush?
Well, the toothbrush you rinse off and wash. I don't see him washing his tube every single time. Maybe he does.
I'm going to try it tonight.
I mean, I think everybody in the history of humanity squeezes some toothpaste onto the toothbrush and then brushes their teeth.
It made me go, have I been doing this wrong
I
the
just
whole
thought
time?
to myself.
I remember when the movie Get Out came out 10 years ago. Great movie. There was a scene where the girlfriend, when she kind of snaps and the plot starts to turn.
Right.
She is sitting on her bed with a bowl of cereal. And the way she ate her cereal, it threw me off. This is 12 years later.
Yeah.
I believe the order was she took a bite of dry cereal, like a spoonful of dry cereal, and then took a cup with a straw
and drank
milk and then drank some of the milk. And I go, no. That's not how that is done. This is crazy behavior.
That's crazy work. That's great. Maybe she doesn't like the cereal getting soggy, whatever. You can control it more.
At least there's an argument. I just don't see what possible advantage. Yeah. I mean, like, is it too hard to get it on the toothpaste? Does it fall off the toothbrush sometimes?
Does he get too messy with it?
Once
kids, don't let my kids. I have to put it on my kids because if they have to do it on the thing, it's a huge mess. So I just Load up the toothbrush every night.
Have you ever had, like, when you're brushing your teeth, all it takes is like one little chunk of extra toothpaste that starts to get in the back of your mouth. You start feeling like you're choking or gagging on it. Like, I feel like that would happen so much more if you just took the tube right to your mouth.
How vigilant are you about squeezing from the bottom?
Pretty vigilant.
Rather than
I didn't used to
just
be.
haphazardly squeezing from anywhere, and the tube ends up because this misshapen mess.
I do the
fold.
The fold. I love the
The
fold.
little fold at the bottom.
Yeah. It's weird that you brought up yogurt, Paul.
Why is it weird that he brought up yogurt?
Well, earlier this morning, you were talking about your free meal that you got over the
It wasn't
weekend.
a free meal. It wasn't a free meal. It was
your exchange of goods for services.
Good,
Yes.
It was good
That's
customer service at Chicago Fire Grill.
And you were shouting it out, and you were talking about how was it the owner, the
Yes, the
head
owner,
chef,
George? Yeah,
and
Made his
but
own
it's funnier.
tzatziki sauce.
It's funnier when we think that you did it.
Yeah, make that.
Yeah, he was talking about some of the food that you had just eaten.
Make that all by hand. I make my own yogurt. I was quoting George. Make it all by hand. He makes his own yogurt.
You said it at like 8:07 this morning, and I pulled it, and I started playing it just to myself.
Make that all by hand. I make my own yogurt.
It made me laugh
All
so
right.
hard. I probably started laughing off the air, and I wasn't sure if we could even play it or not.
Can you play just the I make my own yogurt? Because that's what I would like to
Make
hear.
that all by hand.
Oh.
Make my own yogurt. I make my own yogurt.
Some guy in the chat so mean. He says Afghan wigs suck. Man, I had such a good time seeing him. You're not going to bring me down.
Nice try.
Bang 'em, psychoactive MC6509.
If anyone wants to partner up for us for a yogurt brand,
Yeah.
Brandon Woods Yogurt's happy to do so. That's it. Braden and Frank next for Pauly for Woods. I'm Ben. Have a great rest of your Tuesday from all of us here at 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.